Hello. Oh gosh, okay, so welcome class. Welcome class to VTUBING 101 by Professor Doki. I just need to let you guys know that before I start, a big disclaimer for all of you, but this is all my own opinion. So like obviously to each person it is different how this is done. I am a very unique circumstance in terms of like what the fuck happened to me. So so I just need you guys to know this is like all my own opinion in terms of like content creation and like VTubing and stuff like that. Like all the tips and advice is from what I feel is how to build as an audience and how to nurture a fan community. I realized I just remembered I forgot that slide. I forgot to make that slide regarding like how to nurture a fan community. I forgot to make it. So so I'll talk to you guys about that later. I was like, I knew I forgot something. I knew I forgot one thing to talk about regarding like VTubing. One of the most important things is like how to create a fan community, like a community that is like, you know, how to nurture it and how to like grow it in a way and making sure they like, you know, they'll continue to watch you. So stuff like that. I realized I knew I forgot to make one important slide, and that was one of them. So so I will talk about it. Sadly there won't be a slide about it, so I guess like if you're looking back you're just gonna have to remember where I talked about it and stuff like that. So like I said, this is all my own opinion in regards to like all of this. It will touch on about like content creation as well, not just like VTubing in general, because like although VTubing is a niche type deal, it's like its own niche within the streaming community. A lot of these like things I talk about can also apply to general streaming. Like it doesn't have to, you don't have to be a VTuber. You could just be like a Flesh tuber or like just a PNG tuber or whatever. It all like it's just general advice on like algorithm and stuff like that. A lot of this is like very like it's like very, what's the word, it's very it might be like very simple advice, and it could be like things like, oh, I knew that already or stuff like that, but some people might not, you know, some people might not know this already, this info and stuff like that, or like they might not be aware that like, oh wait, that's the thing and stuff like that. So there's gonna be some advice that to others might seem very simple, but it might help others, and then there might be some advice that you might not know also. So I'll try to touch as much as I can. There will be like, I will take questions, but of course I will pick and choose what questions I would like to answer at the end and from chat, and then I will take some questions. I will also be reading through the Twitter thread that I've made regarding like people on Twitter that have asked me like questions regarding like what they want to know more about, like what my process is and stuff like that. So I will be looking at Twitter as well as chat later on to answer some of the questions people have, because like there's some where people are asking me, how do you do a project, how do you start a project, what do you do? Well, like this, like I didn't make a slide for stuff like this because like when doing projects, it's not really that complicated of a process in general, unless you get sponsors involved. Like the moment you get sponsors involved, or like you have something else that's funding it for you, it's not that complicated. It's as complicated as you want to make it to be. So I didn't make a slide about that because I felt like it really is like your own work process regarding projects and stuff like that. So like, of course, if you have a sponsor involved, if you have someone else involved, obviously what they want to do with your project matters a lot, because they have a say. Since they're funding it, they have a say on how this project is going to go. So, or you can fund it yourself, which is basically, if you fund it yourself, you get 100% on where your creativity is going towards. It's like how a lot of like passion projects are usually funded by themselves, because they don't want like a higher upper person to like dictate what it's gonna be like, and only you just want to do what you want to do. So it's basically like, if you want funding, yeah, you don't have to pay for yourself, but a lot of the creative control is out of your hands. So like it's like very restricted, but if you fund it yourself, obviously you have the majority of creative control on how things are going. So that's why I didn't make a slide, because it's like it really heavily depends on like how you want to do your project. So I can give you how to organize your project, like in terms of like how I organize my projects regarding what the Discord servers will look like. I can give you guys an insight on like how I separate a Discord server and stuff like that. So there will be like pictures and everything. Don't worry, this stream will be it's archived. So do not worry, this stream is archived, so you guys can rewatch it whenever you want regarding stuff like this. And I said before, I will not be going over anything that will break NDAs or anything that is like very private information. I will not be going through any of that. I will mostly be going through like I guess general knowledge that's already been out there regarding when I talk about like companies versus indies. Should you join a company or should you be an indie? I'll be talking about like pros and cons, but all this information is a general knowledge. It is out in public. So like and it's not like NDA, it doesn't break any NDAs. A lot of this information is out in public, but it's more so I give like a highlighter on like separating what are the benefits between why people want to join a company and why people will want to join want to continue being indie. There are pros and cons for each. When you see the pros of like company and indie, you'll see why people will go for either. And there are benefits for each one. So the first off, I'm going to also, I realized there's no BGM, but I was trying to find a good BGM, but I don't know what to use as a BGM. I mean, I do have this, a classic. I could do that. You know what, fuck it, I'll have this be my BGM. All right, this is gonna be my BGM. Anyway, so we were gonna go with the first slide. We're gonna go with a classic. So the first slide, the biggest factor before I go into any of this, the biggest factor regarding how to make it as a content creator and like as a VTuber is luck and networking. And like, I'm not going to deny that luck plays a huge factor. If you watch any like video I got regarding like how do I become a content creator, how do I be a big famous streamer, how do I become famous, everybody will tell you that luck is one of the biggest factors when it comes to streaming. To make it as a streamer, it's your big break basically. But even when you have your big break, you must be able to utilize it to keep the momentum. So like you can't just like have something, you got your biggest break ever, but then you don't utilize anything regarding it, you just coast after that. That kills all your momentum. Like I think that's like really like that is like for some people that is incredibly obvious, but there's so many times when someone will have their big break and then they do nothing with it. They just coast. They'll just keep on streaming as if it's normal. The thing is, when you get your biggest break ever, you have to like keep up the momentum, and a lot of eyes are on you at that point. You gotta grind. You can't just take a break right after you get your like biggest opportunity, because sometimes when they get their big break, they'll be like, I'm not gonna stream after like 2 to 3 days. That your momentum's gone. You gotta milk it. I know it's like, it seems so like simple, but it's something that a lot of people don't realize. You can't, you know, you're like, oh, you have to take a break, you have to rest. But when you have the biggest opportunity of your life, you can't rest until you're stable. Like, but the huge thing is that streaming isn't stable. Content creation isn't stable. But when you have this opportunity, you have to keep going until you feel like you're safe, that you won't lose this anymore. Like, and like, that is why I'm like, I was a huge workaholic when I started out, and I still am, because I do really enjoy streaming. It's when you feel like you're at a safe position, that's when you can relax. Because when you lose the luck to your opportunity, when will you get it again? Type deal. You have to go in thinking that you only have one huge opportunity, and you have to go in with milking that huge opportunity for as long as you can until you realize you're in a safe and stable position to relax. But a huge like negative side to this is that some streamers don't know when they are in a safe position. That is like the hardest part, and that's why a lot of streamers and a lot of content creators don't know when to take a break, because they don't know when they are stable. And that's why you see a lot of burnout and a lot of like streamers burning out, or like just not being able to keep going, because they don't know exactly when the right moment it is to relax. And that is a huge problem, because streaming is also very new. It's not a very long career. We don't know the effects of streaming as a long career. Right now, we are seeing big YouTubers finally like quitting. After like what, 20 plus years on YouTube. We're now seeing like big YouTubers finally deciding to retire. But those are YouTubers. We have yet to see the outcome of streamers. At best, a lot of the big streamers, a lot of the famous streamers are still going. So like, we're seeing big YouTubers finally retiring, but we haven't seen big streamers finally taking a break, or not taking a break, but finally retiring. So at this point, we don't know what's happened. We don't know the career of streaming in general. Germa kind of retired, but Germa is still he's still like sort of ongoing type deal. He's not really like retired. He's like semi-retired. But even then, he's like one of the biggest out there. Like, he is literally, okay, you can say like making it in streaming is 1%. Germa is like the 0.001%. Because he has become a meme. So because of that, he has like transcended to like meme status, which means it's forever type deal. it's forever type deal. And because of that, like it's a different story regarding like regular streamers. And so there's lots of things like this to worry about. Like, you have to know when you can relax and when you can take a break. And I feel like when you have your biggest opportunities, I personally think like you keep going until like you can start to see that that your growth has stabilized type deal. Like, it has stabilized to a number that you think is gonna be your average for a while, and that even if you take a break, like maybe like 1 to 2 weeks break, I know like some people are like a month break or something. I personally think, this is my opinion, but I personally think 1 to 2 weeks is like the optimal length you can take for a break in VTubing and content creation. Well, content creation is another hand, but I think in VTubing, 1 to 2 weeks is the optimal spot. If you're in a company, you might be able to take a longer break, but like if you're an indie, 1 to 2 weeks is like the optimal spot for a break, because you're not gone long enough that that it will affect your algorithm, and you're not gone long enough that people have, you know, watched other streamers and stuff like that. 1 to 2 weeks is like the safe zone. Anything more than that, it's a little bit of like a gamble. It's like it's more so of like how much have you like nurtured your fan base to be able to like take longer breaks. This is, as I said, this is all my own opinion. If you're on Twitch, you don't have to worry about algorithm that much. But like if you're on YouTube, algorithm is like very, very important. Because it affects on how much your content is being pushed outside of the regular sphere. So it really, why is it not to be worried on Twitch? It's because there's no, the Twitch algorithm is different from the YouTube algorithm. The Twitch algorithm is mostly just, you know, the front page with the like, oh, streamers you want to watch, you might recommend and stuff like that. But Twitch growth is mostly relied on raids, which I will talk about in another slide. Raids and VTuber collabs or collaborations in general really help benefits Twitch growth, while on YouTube, YouTube growth really benefits on the algorithm and what you upload and what you're streaming and types like that. Raids hard carry Twitch content creators because you're like funneling viewers into like other people. It's very easy to funnel viewers to other people. YouTube is more so regarding uploads, like shorts, videos, and like how much you're growing and your consistency. The moment you're coasting on YouTube, the less YouTube will push you out to other new viewers. And I have a slide that mostly talks about the algorithm. And Matrix, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. I love gambling. So you're a super chat reader, gambler. Will Doki read my slide? Anyway, another thing I want to talk about is networking. Your growth heavily relies on networking and who you reach out to and who you're working with, who you're socializing with, how you're like, it relies heavily on your social skills and how open you are to reaching out to people type deal. It doesn't have to be like friendships and stuff. It could be just like it doesn't have to be friendship. Like you don't have to be friends with everybody. It can be just like a casual like relationship between like business partners and stuff like that. Like it doesn't have to be, it can just be like a coworker or something. And it doesn't have to be a friendship. It can be a colleague. Yeah, it could be a colleague. And like just someone like mutual like collab partners. So you don't have to force yourself to be friends with everybody. Especially if you're like an introvert like me. I don't have to force myself to be friends with like everybody I meet. Type deal. I meet people, but I don't have to be like forced friendships on people because it has to be mutual. It has to be a mutual friendship, and like there's like mutual like you feel like you groove with somebody. Also, like their stream personalities is not the same as off-stream personalities. How I portray myself on stream, I'm like super energetic, I'm like chaotic and stuff like that. But I'm also an introvert. So like on stream, it's very easy for me to be like that because like I very much enjoy streaming, and I very much enjoy streaming, and I love like making content and stuff like that. But like off stream, I am very like chill. I'm like I'm like chill, and I'm like low energy because I put all my energy onto stream type deal. Like I put a lot of my energies on stream, and like, you know, my battery is low off stream. So my off stream is like very different because most of my energy and most of my battery is on stream. So like I said, like on stream, maybe you like groove with somebody's on stream personality. Like the on stream chemistry is like really good, but maybe off stream you're just casual acquaintances and stuff like that. So like I said, you don't have to be friends with everybody, but it's really good to like know people, at least, like, you know some people. For example, like Twitch Rivals. When I first got invited to Twitch Rivals, I talked with like one of the head people who organizes Twitch Rivals. I had talked with them. I like gave them like ideas and my opinions on stuff, and I told them like, oh, I really enjoyed Twitch Rivals. It was really fun. If possible, is it possibly invited in future Twitch Rivals, because I really enjoyed doing them. And I could have just like done Twitch Rivals and not cared about it after that. But instead, I personally reached out to the head of the Twitch Rivals organizer and told them how much I enjoyed doing them, how much my fans enjoying me doing them, and how I would love to participate more in the future. And that is how I got my connections with Twitch. Is because I took the extra step to interact with the pet people who are organizing these events, and then just be like, I really enjoyed it, and like, if possible, can I be invited to future Twitch Rivals? And that's really it. That's how I basically got like invites consistently to like these events. And just, you have to be like, and I have fun on them. I do. It shows in my streams, and it shows when I reached out directly to the P organizers. And like, and that's also like, it doesn't matter. This applies to everything, like events and all this other stuff. If you ask directly, the worst they can say is no, like, or ghost you, and you took your shot. Like you took your shot, and that's all that matters. And it's all about like taking your shot. You have to get onto these opportunities and be able to interact with people and like openly ask about like whether or not it's possible to do these things. Like, and I mean, if they ghost you, then you're like, fine, you move on. You have to be able to accept rejection and getting ghosted, because that is the way of being a streamer and content creator. It's gonna fucking hurt, but like, I got ghosted and rejected for things like, and I'm not fine, but but you have to accept it. Like that's the thing, you need to accept rejection. Also, Frown, thank you for the Akasupa. Thank you. Sorry, Professor, I almost forgot to pay for class. Oh yeah, sorry. For those who don't know, the tuition. The class tuition. Anyway, like I said, that is one of the biggest factors on like making it as a content creator. But yes, like I said, luck is why a lot of people want to join a company, because it already making it into a company is the luck part, and it already comes with an established audience. And after that, even when you make it to the company, it's your job to keep those eyes on you and continue building it, because it's not like you can coast after that. It's like you have to keep going after that, or you're just gonna stagnate. So which is why my next slide will be going over indie versus company. So I'll be going over company first, and a lot of this is sort of like public knowledge. So like I'm not like going to be going to any details regarding like anything that could break NDA and stuff like that, but a lot of this information is like public knowledge that I'm pretty sure like, it doesn't matter if it's like a small company or a big company. It generally is like, it's very like to the point regarding like situations and stuff like this. So like pros and cons. So obviously I'll be going over like why should you join a company, and about how, and also like things to be aware of. And like I said, you get an instant audience base. So the audience of the company and of the VTubers that debut before you will be there for your debut. obviously, because you might not be the first person there. You know, it might not, if it's not a new company that you're starting, there is already the branding involved. So you're going in with like an established audience, and because of that, that's why a lot of people want to join. If you're nobody, if you came with 0 viewers, then of course, like, having suddenly on your debut, like, I don't know, 20 plus viewers, if you come from 0, 20 plus, 100, 200, 1,000, that's a lot from what you were used to. It draws a lot of attention, and it's your job to make a good debut so you can keep the attention of those people that watched you. They don't know anything about you, but they're all here to be there to watch you. They know zero things other than what you've given out, what your skin suit is, and like what your personality is like on Twitter, and that's it. That's all the information they have of you. But even so, you're going in there with an established audience base that are fans of the company or the VTubers that came before you, and they're here to watch you. So you have all this exposure right off the bat. You could be a hidden gem out there as an indie before you sign up for a company, and it's up to the company to reveal why you're a hidden gem. And because there's so many really good indies out there that never had their big break, but it's only because of joining a company they received their big break, and that is why a lot of people take that chance. Another reason why is because you get a group of people to collaborate with instantly. And this is one of the things that I've learned as an indie, how it's very difficult as an indie is to find a group of people or a collab group that you want to do collabs with, and be able to, like, organize something really easily in general. So in a company, you can literally just ask anybody. Like, there might be a server or something, and you can just be like, at everyone, I want to play this game. And I need people to play there. I need 3 people. And that is why one of the reasons why people want to join. They want a sense of community, and they want a group of people to be able to play games with, or like to be able to organize stuff with. And it's why a lot of people would want to join, and that makes sense. You don't, as an indie, you have to socialize and meet people and get close enough to invite them to things. And when you're in a company, you don't really have to do that. It could be colleagues or something, and you can just be like, hey, you guys want to do this? I don't really know you, but like, you're in the company, so like, obviously, let's do something together. So it gives like a security of like having a group of people that you can just work with, and you don't have to contact people outside your circle to fill in spots or work on socializing. And another reason is if you're a singer or a dancer. So the reason why I put that is that it's very beneficial for if you have talents in singing or dancing to work for a company. And because the reasoning is that a lot of the biggest events that VTuber companies do, it doesn't matter how big or small, are concerts and like singing. And if you're talented at singing, you will get picked to do concerts. If you can sing, you'll get those opportunities to perform around the world for fans. Since you're under a group, you can do big group concerts with lots of other singers, and it's much easier to set up versus as an individual, and all the costs are within from the company. And that's why if you're a singer or a dancer, it really benefits you, because like I said, you get to be picked to do these types of events. And these are like one of the I won't say the easiest events to organize, but like the most common events to see being hosted by VTuber companies, because it's like some things that fans love and some things that is easy, not easy, but like they have a lot of experience organizing. And also like they have access to like music labels maybe. It depends on which company you're joining, but if you want to make it more, if you want to be like more well known as a singer, it's easier to do that when you're joining a company versus being an individual, because getting your talents out there is easier because of that. As well as like not only that, but cover songs, group songs, karaoke's. These are like some of the easiest ways to help boost not only your channel but the company's branding as well. So like these are like some of the things to be aware of, because like I said, hosting concerts and stuff like that worldwide is like some of the easiest things to do as an entertainer, versus like for me, I think it's one of the reasons why I felt like I'd be slacking off or like not worth much, because as a person who can't sing or a beginner, you have to think, what can I offer to the company that can be used for events and big productions? And it's harder because you have to be more creative and know where your own talents lie. For me, I would say like gaming, but I can't really do that. I can't have like host like a big event regarding like fan event regarding gaming. Like it's very like harder. I feel like personally it might be harder to do versus like singing. So like also like if you what if we're like, oh but Doki, what about like tournaments and stuff like that? It's hard because you can't do like LAN stuff if you're a VTuber. Like you know, like I mean there's like moment like because like you can't go to LAN. So like that's different. You can't be like, oh my god, because like I've had moments where I was invited to do like I had moments in the past where I was invited to do things like physical meet and greets for like gaming stuff, or like I had to be there. Like I won't show up, I won't like be there on the stage, but I had to be there like at the event, and I had to say no because as a VTuber that is very dangerous. I said no for these because like like obviously like risk wise, like being there, physically being there is for as a VTuber there's a lot of risks to it. So I've had to say no to like LAN events in the past where I had to actually be there to play the game, and I didn't feel very comfortable with that. I didn't feel very comfortable because I was worried. I was worried because I was like, I don't know if I'll be safe type deal. So in the past I have said no to these opportunities. Also, another thing is if the main branch is non-English speaking, but you speak the language. One of the reasons why I put this here is that if you want to apply for a company whose main branch is in English speaking, I strongly suggest learning that language while you're applying, or if you make it in. And because why? Because speaking that language offers so many opportunities, including being able to collaborate with talents and participate in main branch events if it is only in that language and signups are exclusive to being able to speak that language. You're obviously like, you know, shutting down a huge set of network and a huge set of like opportunities that, you know, you wouldn't be able to access if you don't learn that language. And it makes sense because you have to be able to communicate with everyone and be able to keep the production going. And another thing is that the main consumer base and experience will also be in the main branch. Most of the sales and consumer products might be exclusive to one country because manufacturing and like shipping is just easier, you know, it's all there. so like it's all there. Like overseas shipping is very expensive. So maybe they want to make something that is exclusive to like this particular country because it's just easier, especially if it's like brand deals or like sponsors. It's like only located in one region, so it's just easier in the long run. It's hard to learn a new language, but if you're trying to apply for a company, or if you're trying to get into a company whose main language isn't English, you might as well do it if you want to grow as a content creator in that company. And if you're, so it's like, it's super understandable why it would be very beneficial to you and like if you speak the language, you might have more fans in the main target demographic, thus offering you more opportunities to receive sponsors dedicated to the main demographic. So like stuff like that, like it seems like super simple, but like it's like something you have to be incredibly committed to do. You don't even have to be like super fluent. You could be like semi-fluent and that is fine. It just helps you in the long run. Anyway, you have to have learning language is incredibly difficult, and it's more so of like you just have to be like very dedicated to doing so. And networking also benefits because you can reach out to like different fan bases and stuff like that, like by knowing, because like obviously the English fan base might be different from other language speaking fan bases, so the more you know, the more beneficial it is to you. Also, but if you are like trying to cater to both fan bases, you need to be able to balance this. So like you have to be able to, the hardest part is being able to balance speaking languages for different audience bases, because you have to make sure like one audience doesn't feel left out over the other. So you have to be able to balance this very well as well, because you're gonna like, you know, some people are gonna feel left out and you can't stop that. People are gonna feel left out, like, but you have to be able to make sure that you're not catering to one side more than the other. So you have to find like a healthy balance. My suggestions on these is just maybe have like one stream a week dedicated to speaking that language, just to keep up with like nurturing that fan base. Or like I feel like, yeah, just be able to like have like 1 or 2 streams a week just dedicated to that. And another thing is you don't need to worry about like big picture and legal stuff. What I meant by that is that when you're in a company, all of this is handled by the management. So as an indie, what I've noticed is that as an indie, when you get more like merch collaborations, like offers and deals, there's like contracts and negotiations that you have to be involved in. And because of that, you also have to obviously read those contracts of like the merch negotiations or like sponsor stuff. You have to be able to read the contracts. But when you're in a company, you don't really have to worry that much about the big picture stuff, because obviously the company will make sure it wouldn't like hurt them regarding like sponsors and merch stuff. So like you put your trust in that. But when you're as an indie, you have to make sure that like even if your manager is reading as an indie, even your manager is reading that, you have to read it yourself as well, because what the manager is doing doesn't necessarily mean that that is what you want. So you have to be able to read your contracts and negotiate for things you want. And that is also obviously like a lot of work. Anyway, another one obviously is like 3D. Obviously, companies are very well experienced with doing 3Ds and having 3D done. Like they have all the experience, and I would say companies in Japan have the most experience with doing VTuber 3D stuff, because you know they've like perfected it type deal. They perfected it, and I feel like in NA, a lot of companies in NA are still playing catch up when it comes to what JP companies have done, or not just JP companies, but JP indies too. Indies in Japan also have like really good 3Ds, because a lot of studios in Japan are very well versed in doing anime 3Ds. NA are still doing catch up, so there's still a lot of time. Like, there's still a lot of catch up. It's also a lot of work. 3D in general is a lot of work. So, but that's like one thing that can offer. As an indie, you might not be able to have that opportunity because as an indie, getting a studio that's able to handle all of that, having the assets made as well. The thing about like Japanese companies and Japanese like 3D tech is that a lot of them already have assets made from the past that you can use. So they're always keeping assets that can help benefit them more in the future. It is a lot of money invested, and they've already invested so much money that is why like it is much more difficult as an indie. And as if you're really looking forward to an indie to doing 3D and stuff, there's a reason why you want to join a company. And finally, sponsors. It's easier. You don't have to reach out for sponsors. Or, like, a lot of times you don't have to make a fucking deck. Like, okay, so you guys don't know, you have to have a pitch deck made as an indie. But like for sponsors, the company will already provide, well, like your company will be working on finding these sponsors for you. And so for those who don't know what pitch deck is basically a pitch deck is to basically like a thing that you send to companies, to like business companies or sponsors or brand deals to like advertise yourself. And it's like, as an indie, you should have that one made, because like that is your way of like advertising yourself as like a portfolio to advertise yourself to like other companies. But when you're part of a company, you don't have to worry about that. Your company will be doing all that, and they'll be picking people who they want to do to represent particular brands and stuff like that. Like, you don't have to worry about anything. You get sponsored, you'll just be pleasantly surprised. Like now, things to be aware of. Number one, you're like, I don't know, things that you need to be aware of, because if these things are not Gucci with you, then you're gonna have a rough time. So if you are not cool with any of these things, you're gonna have a really rough time. So one of them is permissions. Obviously, when you're in a company, it doesn't even matter. Even if you're an NA company, and even if you're like an NA company, this is like one of the things you have to worry about the most, because you're not really safe. Because they see you as corpa, so you're not really safe in general. And they're more, companies are more like looked at regarding perms. It doesn't matter what country you're in. It really, if you want to be really smart about it, if you're from NA, if you want to be really smart on it, just play NA games. But when you start playing games, or like you try to do stuff outside of NA, that's when things get messy. You might have fair use laws, but but even then, that's not really gonna protect you. When you're playing things or doing things out, and the country of origin is not America or Canada, or just not NA. So, like I said, you need permission for things. Music, games, and others. What do you mean by others? Graphics, pictures, images, videos, everything. If you think showing pictures of something, if you guys didn't know, so there's like a lot of like many things that a lot of like companies are like really strict about. Like one of the, I can give like so many like famous examples, but I won't, because I don't want to get in trouble. I don't, but if you look hard enough, like, you can find them. And obviously, like, some of the things that you should be like, you guys didn't know, like, you can't make like fan products of Sanrio stuff, because they're very strict regarding like fan products of like Sanrio things. So like stuff like this, you can easily get like stuff taken down if you put like, I don't know, some like Hello Kitty stuff that wasn't made by like Sanrio. Like you made your own Hello Kitty product, they will try and take it down because like it's not made by them. And stuff like that. You have to be worried. It's not just music and games. There's so many other things to worry about. And you might not be happy that you can't get the permission that you want for certain things. And you're very restricted on the games you can play. And like obviously music as well. So like maybe like maybe some game companies don't give you explicit permission and stuff like that. So there's some things like this to worry about. Maybe this is like your favorite game of all time. You really want to play it. Like you really want to stream it, but you can't. And you have to be able to accept that. Someone says, is this only for Japanese companies? No, a lot of like smaller companies in NA have to deal with that too, because they don't want to worry about like because like maybe if it's an NA game, that's fine. If it's an NA developer and publisher, then like, you know, that's fine. But if you're trying to do something that's outside of NA, then it's more of a risk. And obviously when I say other, like someone said, what about mods, stuff like that, you have to get the permission from the original creator. Usually some of them would say no. So, but you have to have an explicit permissions for stuff like that. So, so like it doesn't matter, like mods, stuff like that, like fan translations, like you have to worry about things like that. Obviously, like I said, certain restrictions are to follow. Like not only just with games and everything, it was how you handle yourself, and maybe like you're not allowed to do certain things or say certain things because like you represent the company, and you have to be aware of what you say and how you act, because what you do doesn't just reflect yourself but the whole company. So you have to be aware that your stance and actions reflect the company's values. Your image and beliefs are tied to the company, so like you have to be very aware. And if you join a company, you have to be very neutral in a lot of things. You cannot, it's because like you don't want it to hurt yourself in the long run. So you have to be incredibly neutral. You have to be sure of like when you say things of like, I like this thing, that it's safe to say. like that's what you have, because you're representing, you're not representing yourself. It doesn't matter if that's your own opinion. You represent the company, so it doesn't matter. You have to be neutral. Like, you're here to entertain. You're like, you have to be like incredible. You have to be safe, and everything. And even then, if you are an indie that's planning to join a company, you have to make sure you're like, I guess like brand friendly type deal. You have to be like brand friendly, because like what you say on the internet is forever. Like, it doesn't matter if it's like, oh, that was before then, you know. What you say on the internet is forever. So you have to be sure that like, you know, you're pretty much like your like internet history is like okay. Yes, the internet never forgets. And then obviously another thing is juggling your schedule regarding overlaps. You don't want to if you're in a company, you want to be like respectful to other people's schedules. So like maybe like, oh, this person's gonna have a sponsor stream at that time. I don't want to overlap it. I'm gonna make sure to raid into the sponsor stream, because like how well they do in sponsors might mean like the sponsor would want to do more with us. So stuff like that. You have to be very smart in how you arrange your schedule and everything. So you have to be sure that like that you're like helping everybody, not just yourself. You can't just focus on yourself. You have to be sure that you're helping everybody. If everybody grows, that's a good thing. You're a team player. So it's very frustrating especially when you're like, oh, I really want to do it at this time slot. But you have to be a team player because you have to make sure that everybody is like going well, so that in the long run you will go well, you will do well in the long run for everybody. And it's all about like working together type deal. So, and obviously, like I said, like percentage cuts taken. I think that's like very self-explanatory. When you're working for a company, it doesn't necessarily mean you obviously like they take a percentage. So because they're like funding some things, they're helping you in some stuff, they are arranging things for you, stuff like that. So it's obvious. So that is why people would want to join a company, and those are the pros and like what you have to be aware of what you have to do. So now you're wondering, okay, what about an indie? So as an indie, basically is like opposite of obviously a lot of stuff I said regarding company. So as an indie, like I said, there's more freedom what you can do. You're an indie. There's so much more freedom. There's a lot more. Yay! You have all the creative control on everything you do and how you want your channel to be. And you get to keep 100% what you make because you're by yourself. You're an indie. Like, I think... Sorry, I accidentally smacked something. So... thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Take this 100%. Also, I just realized I never asked you guys how the sound was. I hope the sound has been okay so far. Hey, I hope the BGM has been like okay. It's not too loud. It's a bit low. Okay, that's great. That's fine. You just want to listen to my voice anyway. Why do you guys want to listen to that BGM? It's all about the information I give you. Okay, I'll boost it a little higher. All right, I'll give it a little higher. All right, so anyway, as I was saying, and your networking and connections stays with you. So like you don't have to like, you know, everything, your connections and all of that directly goes to you. It's not directly from the company, you know. You don't have your connections from the company. You have the connections from yourself. So everything just funnels to you. And then you get to create the merchandise you want to make and guide the production. So like I said, like the thing about being indie is just everything is up to you. How you want to make your career, everything. But of course, with more freedom comes more risk. So because of that, you're opening yourself up legally to more like risk that you might not be prepared of. So like obviously like scams, stuff like that, and you have to like make sure you have to have a, depending on how big you are as a content creator or a VTuber, or if you want to try and get to learn these things, you will eventually have to have a business lawyer that can help you look over contracts. And especially regarding like, you don't want to be taking advantage when it comes to like sponsors and brand deals. You want to accidentally take a bad sponsor. So there's like liability and stuff like that. So you have to have a business lawyer that's there to read your contracts and be able to like help you with stuff like this. So you also have to work harder when it comes to networking and branding because it all comes down to you. Obviously, you don't have the company brand to like help you with getting to know people or with networking and branding. You have to do all this yourself. You have to build this up all about yourself, and then you have to be smarter with this branding and doing what is meta. Like you can't, unless you want to be niche. But niche is also harder. Variety is an easier route versus niche streaming, because niche streaming, when you're doing niche streaming, you're restricted to that certain niche. You can't really branch out, because the moment you branch out, your viewership will not follow you. It doesn't matter if you're like, no, they love me. Your viewership most likely will just find another streamer that might be streaming that particular niche. So you want to cater, it's better for long-term streaming to be a variety streamer, because when that niche dies, you are in trouble. You have to really like figure out what to do. Or you cater a very fucking dedicated fan base, but that in itself is also very difficult. So like someone said, if you only stream that one thing, those viewers will only show up for that one thing. So you have to, it's long-term wise, variety is better for you long-term. Even though it's harder to get started, variety is better to have versus like being a niche streamer. And when you're in a company, you can go niche easier, but because like you're under the company brand, so like there are viewers that would be like, oh, I love just watching people in this company. So like it doesn't matter for you if you're a niche in a company, but when you're a niche as an indie, it affects a lot more. Britt, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. As an indie, is it still a good idea to get perms for games, cover, etc., or is it unnecessary as an indie? If you're doing reaction content, I would highly suggest don't risk it on your channel. Or put it on Twitch if you want to do reaction content. Just do it on Twitch, and then like, and that way, and then like edit in a way that has that benefits fair use. Like I would say that like if it benefits, and if you're gonna react to something and you think that you can upload it on your channel, make sure the thing you're reacting to is something within NA and not like outside of NA. Because then if it's outside of NA, it's harder because, you know, some countries might not have fair use laws, or you pay the creator. Regarding games, music, covers, I would say cover songs, look up song permissions. If you're doing Japanese covers, look up song perms for like Japanese songs, because like they have the right to take down your song if you don't have proper permissions. And if you're doing like maybe if and then also like English songs, they might get copyright claimed, but like, or like, but it doesn't affect your channel, stuff like that. They'll just take the revenue. If you're okay with your music having your revenue taken, then that's fine. It's okay, because the most common factor is like NA songs, like English songs, is mostly like they just give you like a copyright claim where they just take your revenue. And unless you're just there to like have views, that's okay. But if you actually want money from doing cover songs, then you have to make sure that like that particular song you're covering is okay perms wise, that you won't get claimed. Like that's it. What else? But yeah, as I said, you have to follow as meta, so fear of missing out games. So you saw me like a difficult, what was it, supermarket simulator, what's it, the climbing game, stuff like that. You have to be on it the moment you realize it is the streaming game. You have to be on that shit. That's it, because people want to watch those games, and that's really, you have to flavor up that week. So you have to make sure you play it, because you don't want to miss out. It's all about the meta. And how do I figure out what's flavor of the month streams? You literally look at the biggest streamers out there that do variety, and they're on that shit the moment it releases. What's an easier way if you don't know which streamer to watch? go on Twitch and look at most popular game being streamed right now. And that's how you find. That is how I found out Supermarket Simulator and the climbing game. I literally go like, I was like on Twitch and I was like, Will, what's this? Everybody's streaming it. All the flesh tubers are streaming it. I was like, wow, this is clearly the streamer game. So like I decided to play it because I was like, if people really enjoy it, if a lot of people are watching it, clearly it's a very entertaining game. And then there's some games that it doesn't matter. There's some games like Outer Wilds. I highly recommend streaming games such as Outer Wilds because those games are like games that have Discord servers dedicated to it. and it's basically like I talked about this before, but there's like games that have like cult fandoms. So like Outer Wilds is one of those games where there's a Discord server dedicated to like finding streamers that are streaming Outer Wilds because they want to chase the high that Outer Wilds gave them, because they want to live vicariously through the streamer streaming Outer Wilds. So like, yeah, Souls games and Outer Wilds are some of these games, or Undertale too. Souls games, Undertale, and Outer Wilds are one of these games that are really well-known streamer games because there are servers dedicated to finding other streamers that are streaming that game because they want to live vicariously through that game. So if you're starting out, these are like some of the fucking they're the reason why they're called stream games. They're the reason why they're called the streamer meta or the stream games. And every fucking streamer, it doesn't matter what streamer you are, it doesn't matter if you're a VTuber or a flesh tuber or like whatever content creator you are, they love that shit. And also gacha game. But like if you're starting out, I don't know, I feel like you should invest your money on, unless you want to be a gacha streamer, but like, and you think you're gonna have your investment pay off later, and or you're really fucking passionate about gacha, but you're starting out, a lot of your money is gonna be spent on reinvesting in your channel. So like that's why I was like avoiding gacha, because like because you're investing on the gacha instead of the channel. So but if you're really passionate about gacha, then feel free to do gacha. Like I'm not gonna restrict you. Anyway, so by the way, I have like 17 slides and I realized we're some of them are like really fast. I think these two were like my longest slides, but I hope it's been like informative so far. I hope this has been like informative for you guys and like good advice. All right, okay, auditioning. Obviously I won't be giving out audition secrets, but like I've talked about this before. If you guys look hard enough, you guys can find an archive. But like when I passed the first round, I researched a lot and I had a 10-page document going into round 2. When obviously like the first stage would be like submitting a video audition of like stuff like that, and then when I realized my video audition passed, I made a 10-page document detailing like everything about preparing myself to the next round. And I was I like worked very hard on that, and all in there was like research and stuff like that. Obviously I can't give out my document, but I can give you advice on how to research similar ways. There's lots of resources out there from members within companies that reveal very crucial audition advice and insight onto the interviews and the audition tapes. Like, if you look hard enough, you can actually find members, not just like, you know, like members from different branches that talk about specific info regarding the audition stage. I personally looked at Twitter and YouTube in different languages to find audition interview questions. So like, I highly recommend you guys, if you want to audition, and a lot of times I would believe the audition questions would be like super similar, like, because it's like, how many different types of questions can you ask about VTubing? So it doesn't matter. So like it's like stuff like that. And then when you're doing your application, you have to find your niche and main character type that you want to play, because they're trying to find a character for you. They're trying to figure out like what will you bring? Will you be the same personality that they have 5 times, like they already have, or will you be a new personality, or will you be a personality that is similar to like one of their popular talents, and they want to try and like, you know, have another talent that is just as popular, stuff like that. So you gotta figure out what you're bringing and like how to market yourself type deal. And you just have to figure out like what you're bringing to the table. And you have to know that like there's more competition now, because VTubing is growing, and like there's a lot of people that want this to be their big break. A lot of like hidden gems that want this to be like just want this to be like the thing that, you know, that's gonna like make them famous. So there's more competition now, so standards and quality are higher. What I submitted back then as a video audition might not have fucking worked later on if I try it now. Like it will not, I personally think it will not work. So like obviously the quality wise might be a lot higher depending on what type of company you want to apply for. It's definitely must have changed. I would assume it has changed because the market is bigger now. And the competition is a lot higher. And if you're really want to be in a no matter what company you want to be, a company VTuber, don't be afraid of applying over and over again until you make it in. Like if you like, most likely you might get ghosted, not ghosted, but like usually if you're rejected on the first round, you wouldn't even get an email. So like, and there's like guidelines being like, if we don't reply back within like X amount of months, try again. Just try again. Just keep submitting. A lot of people are be like, I just kept submitting until it worked. And like at that point, if you really want to join, just keep submitting. But also don't slack off on like, you know, streaming as an indie. Just keep going as an indie and keep submitting. That's really it. So you just have to keep taking your shots, and that is really auditioning. Equipment. All right. Number 1. Audio. Audio is so fucking important. I will not watch a stream if I hear shitty audio quality. That is like 100% for me. This is my opinion. But like, I will turn off a stream if the audio is just fucking shit. That shit is so important. Audio, that fucking shit is so important. So remember to have good audio. Like, if the first thing you're gonna invest, please invest in a microphone, a good quality mic. And it is very okay. I started out with a cheap $1 mic because I didn't care. This mic I bought when I used to live in Asia. So like I was like, I just wanted a mic to communicate with my teammates. It wasn't about streaming, which I later used for streaming. But I was like streaming like Overwatch. So like it didn't really matter that much for me. So like later on, when I got a little bit more serious, I upgraded to a Blue Yeti, because Blue Yeti at that time was like a budget, I guess you can say budget, but it's still pretty expensive. When you're starting out, like I know it says budget, but like it's still like a pricey microphone. And it's actually like a good starting out mic. If you want to, and the Snowball, honestly, like Yeti products, but I went with Blue Yeti. But obviously a cheaper alternative will be the Snowball. But yes, when I started getting more serious later on, but yes, You want to be a VTuber, it's a huge investment. Similar with flesh tubing, you have to have like, you know, like the camera and stuff like that. It's a huge investment. And obviously, like, you have to be willing to put money onto this. Doesn't matter. Skin suit, rigging, all that stuff. You have to be willing to invest in all of these things. Not all of these, but like if you want to like have a career, you have to be able to invest in this. Anyway, as I said, audio. If you're investing in anything, if you don't want to invest too much, at least invest in better audio. Like I said, get a mixer. I have a Go XLR, but that is baby mixer because I'm stupid. If you talk to audio people, they will be like, oh, don't get the Go XLR if you know about mixing. But I am stupid. And Go XLR is like baby's first mixer. And it's for like stupid people like me. Because it's like very... What's the word? It's very... It's like very intuitive. It's very direct. If you know how to use audio, I would suggest asking your audio friends, like people who are in music, to recommend you better mixers. And what are mixers? Mixers make sure you don't fucking peak when you're talking. So when you're laughing, when you're screaming, stuff like that, mixers is a way to make sure your audio doesn't peak. It's nice. When you're whispering, it's not fucking terrible. You can mute stuff if you have to. Like you can mute audio so that people can't hear but you can hear, stuff like that. So like that's what you can control your collab partners and stuff. You can control your collab partners audio, but that's why I go with the Go XLR. It's very intuitive and very like, also there's sound effects, stuff like that, but that doesn't really matter to me. All I use the Go XLR to help me with like making sure for collabs and making sure I don't peak when I like talk too loud or if I scream, stuff like that. It helps a lot. What is that? It normalizes your audio. Audio balancing is so fucking important. Audio, you can use OBS audio filters, but it's not as good as a mixer. It's not as good. But like I said, Go XLR is baby's first mixer, and like all the audio people would fucking judge you for using a Go XLR. But you're stupid like me, that is all you need. Like, I do not have the brain capacity to fucking research stuff like this or be able to use an actual real mixer correctly. If you look at what real mixers look like, they look so fucking complicated that I can't be bothered. So obviously other mixers are cheaper, like the actual real ones. But Go XLR is so good for babies like me. There's just too many buttons. I can't handle it. There's so many buttons and sliders. What the fuck does... I don't know. I'm not an audio person. I just stream. Anyway, you have to ask around. If you don't want to go with Go XLR, you have to ask around. Anyway, so like I was saying, the reason why audio balancing is so important is that when you are in a collab, a lot of times, not a lot of times, but there are some viewers that will only watch the streamer that has the best audio balance. So you might not be, you know, they're like, oh, hey, I want to hear everybody. You know, I want to hear everybody. I want to know what everybody's saying. I want to know what everybody's talking about. So they want to go to a stream that has the best audio balancing, and they'll look at all the other streams in the collab and be like, oh, this stream has the best audio balancing. I'm gonna watch this stream so I can figure out like I can hear everything and stuff. So that is why audio balancing is very important. And I have an audio guy. I have a person that watches my streams to make sure my audio balancing is good. I personally have a person that looks at that, and they are also like, they're an audio person as well. They like work on music and stuff. So I personally have a music person to make sure everybody is balanced. My sound guy, and that's why I'll be like, sound guy. I would sometimes look at Discord, because I would have them on Discord, and they'll be like, is the audio good and stuff like that. So that's what my sound guy does, because I want to make sure that everything is okay. And that is very important. Like I said, there's viewers that will only watch a collab stream with the person that has the best audio balancing. And it's all about maximizing the comfort of the viewer. So, you know, you can ask a friend to be like, hey, can you check my stream? If you don't have like a person really to like really check on your audio, you can ask a friend. Like, don't ask chat, because chat is not a hive mind. You'd be like, hey chat, how's the audio? Never fully trust chat, because chat is not a hive mind, and it really depends on the headphones on whether or not like the audio is good. Some people say yes, some people say no, and then you don't know who to listen to. Find one person you trust very much to monitor your audio, and then just monitor your audio for the first like 1 minute to make sure everything is good. And then at that point, then they don't have to be there. They can be, if they want to, they can be there. But like, you know, if you're asking a friend, you don't want to force them. I can literally see my baby Go XLR tell me that I'm not muted. This is why you get a mixer too. So some people can't troll you. Also, TV, thank you for the 5 gift shifts. Thank you. So having a sound person dedicated to monitoring your balance is like really helpful, especially long term, because like I said, it really affects it. Anyway, so I gave you guys my timeline of like what the microphones I use. So I used a cheap $1 mic, then I evolved to a Blue Yeti, and then I used an AT2020, and then I moved on to the Shure SM7B. The Shure SM7B is my current microphone that I use at the moment. I'm planning on maybe in the future to upgrade my microphone again, but only more so of like whenever I get my PC upgraded, I will upgrade my microphone as well. So for now, I'm keeping my Shure mic at the moment, but this is like my timeline of everything. If you are a singer, if you want to get started into singing, these are not singing microphones. I need you guys to know this. These are not singing microphones. These are podcast microphones. So if you want to sing, I would suggest asking your fellow friends who are singers or research singing microphones, because there is like, singing microphones are way different. I would highly suggest not singing with these microphones. You need a different mic. I personally don't remember what mics you need, because when I sing, when I record things, I just go to a studio, or I just like, and then I sing with my Shure microphone because I don't care. It's the studio or my Shure microphone, because I'm not a singer, so like I don't care as much. So but if you're serious, get a actual singing mic and like research on that. I can't give you the research for that because I don't know. That's really I can say about like microphones. Everything else, in my opinion, is just a bonus. Everything else, like as long as you have good, like when you're starting out, I think all the other stuff you can just invest in the future when you have the money. But if you want to start your career, the main thing you focus on investment wise is the audio. Everything else bonus. It doesn't matter until you get like, you actually make money. Anyway, for example, like this is my other equipment. I have 3 monitors. It's for efficiency wise. So I can read chat on one side. I have chat on one of the monitors, my right monitor, that's vertical. And then I have OBS and other browsers and stuff on my left. I have my main content, if it's a game, in the center monitor. So like the game will be in the center. And then right now, my notes is in the center so I can read it and everything. So so that is like why I have 3 microphones. If you want to get an iPhone, I would highly suggest an iPhone X or higher, because that is the best for facial tracking due to the inbuilt facial tracking when it comes to VTubing. So I would highly suggest, if you want really good skin suits, an iPhone X or higher. Obviously, tanky PC or dual PC setup. A dual PC setup means you don't have to have incredible parts. Like, you don't have to have, like... Oh, sorry, I mean 3 monitors. I don't know what I said, but I meant 3 monitors. I meant 3... I don't know, did I say 3 PCs? I meant 3 monitors. You can either have an incredibly tanky PC, or you have a dual PC setup. Dual PC setup doesn't require you to have like really insane parts, because it helps, like, one PC will be used for streaming and then the other PC will be used for games or like other stuff. So like, that's really it. The reason why having a good PC helps is that VTubing apps take up a lot sometimes, and plus whatever game you're streaming. Sometimes you're like, oh, why are you lagging? Why are you losing frames? I stream this game. I don't have any issues with it. But we also have like us on the screen. So that takes up a lot of space too. So that is why when you're VTubing, it requires more resources. So I would highly suggest, if you're gonna invest on a better PC, or invest in dual PC setup. And also, a lot of the current games are fucking terribly optimized. Optimization is shit. So so you have to worry about that too. So like, that's why like you just had to have a better PC now. And my headphones is the DT770 Pro. I don't know if that matters. I don't know anything about headphones. I asked one sound guy about it, and then they like recommended this headphone, so then I bought it. But like, I honestly have like, I don't know if you can try and copy my headphones too. I also have fiber internet, because my niche, in a way, I'm more of a variety streamer, but like I do have like a subcategory, which is competitive FPS. By the way, I'm gonna be in Twitch Rivals for Apex Legends next week, so great segue. But ping really matters to me, so that's why I have fiber internet. But obviously, like, really not every place has fiber internet. But yes, anyway. Alright, so that is the equipment. I hope that is helpful regarding equipment wise. Alright, Twitch versus YouTube. Okay, I know like it's like very brief, but I also have like more stuff to say about it as well. So Twitch versus YouTube. Should you stream on Twitch? Should you do YouTube? Or should you multi-stream? The thing, okay, so I am primarily on YouTube is because I'm used to it. I like having set schedules. I don't like streaming whatever I want, because I'm super fucking indecisive. I like knowing what I'm doing. I used to not, but then now I'm like, I like knowing what I'm going to do. So like, because it helps me plan my day and time. Anyway, like I said, for Twitch, the biggest benefits of Twitch is the rating system, which benefits you, because if you're starting out, raids help so much with growing your presence and channel. So YouTube has raids, but like, it's not as utilized as Twitch, because it's harder to find people to raid, because like the YouTube rating system is like not as usable, I guess, in a way. It's like it benefits companies more than it benefits individuals for YouTube. But on Twitch, it benefits, you know, everybody, like individuals. Like if you're an indie, Twitch rating benefits more so than YouTube rating, because like there's not a lot of VTubers on YouTube as an indie, and it's harder for discoverability on YouTube versus Twitch. The thing about Twitch is that there is like an option to look for like lower viewed streamers on Twitch to find raids. Like there are moments when, like, you know, bigger content creators on Twitch will go to a category. The thing about YouTube, you can't go to a category and, you know, find people you want to raid. And also, like, not everybody has the option on. If you guys don't know, if you're starting out on YouTube, the rating is off automatically. You have to turn it on yourself for YouTube rating. On Twitch, it's on automatically. So like on Twitch, you can like go to a category and be like, I want to rate somebody in this category, and then you can, you know, browse through and be like, oh, I want to rate somebody in the VTuber category, and then you'll be like, oh, this person doesn't have like a lot of like people, you know. Oh, did I spell it wrong? Sorry, I can't be bothered to fix it. But you can go to the category and be like, oh, hey, this person has a lot of viewers, I'm gonna rate them. There's a lot of success stories like that. For example, Nicewig blew up because Dizzy, and for those who don't know Apex, I'm just gonna do Apex terms. The reason why Nicewig blew up was because Dizzy was browsing through Apex Twitch streamers and found Nicewig on Twitch streaming in the Apex category. Dizzy at the time was the Apex streamer, was like the biggest Apex streamer at that time, and he rated Nicewig, and Nicewig took that big luck opportunity and rode it to where he is now. And it's stuff like that. Like now Nicewig is like one of like the biggest known Apex streamer out there. He's like the official B caster for ALGS, stuff like that. So like that is why when you're starting out and you want to hit, the easiest way to hit your biggest break is on Twitch. Maybe later on you can move to YouTube, but I think if you're starting out, this is NA, by the way. NA, if you're starting out, I don't know for other countries, but you're starting out, I would say Twitch is your biggest bet in terms of making it. On YouTube, it is a lot harder for an indie because there's less discoverability as a YouTuber, as an indie YouTuber. It's a lot harder. And more so, streaming is a Twitch thing for NA people. For English-speaking audiences, if you're a streamer, you're on Twitch. YouTube is still trying to figure this out for NA. I was just lucky to be able to do YouTube because I already have an audience established on YouTube. So it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier to get started. It's better to start on Twitch and then move on to YouTube because I think long term, YouTube is better monetary wise because you have everything in one channel. You have the VODs, you have videos, you have shorts. Everything is one channel. Twitch, usually you just have the live stream and then you uploaded edited versions of your live stream to your YouTube channel if you want to. Twitch is just streaming. Usually people don't watch VODs on Twitch. People will watch edited content on YouTube of your Twitch VODs. So that is why, like, long term, I feel like YouTube is just better long term in general. If you want to do long term wise, if you're a Twitch streamer and you want to have a presence on YouTube, have your VODs edited into highlights. Don't just upload VODs because, like, sometimes people can't fucking watch 2 hours of VODs. We all have short attention spans these days. Have a VOD VOD channel too. If you really want to and you want to keep the VODs, have the VOD. Just keep it. I don't know. But if you really want to have a presence on YouTube, upload edited versions of the edited highlights of your VOD. Because people would rather watch edited highlights than a fucking 2 to 3 hour video. If you really upload your VODs, have a separate VOD channel. The reason why I don't upload my VODs, my Twitch VODs, onto my YouTube channel, my main one, is that affects my algorithm so much. Because I know, personally, because I'm like that too, that not a lot of people would want to watch like 3 hour plus of something that's already happened. They rather watch it live. And because of that, I have a separate VOD channel. Because I know if the VOD performs not as good as my other stuff, it affects my algorithm. And YouTube is like, what the fuck? YouTube would be like, whoa, what happened there, Doki? Why is your channel fucking tanking from this one video? And I had to separate it because I know VOD channels are the meta and you have to have it separate. Like, if I'm gonna upload a video, it would be highlights. And that's the way. You have to appease the algorithm. It's all about playing the algorithm. Alright, but what about multi-stream? Yes, you can multi-stream. It's a very popular method right now, especially in NA. I don't think like other countries people are doing multi-streams. It's mostly because like it's mostly an NA thing. I personally don't do multi-streams because I don't like splitting the audience. I don't like, because you can only have one chat up there, and like I personally don't like. This is my own personal preference, and that is why I don't multi-stream, because I don't like splitting the audiences. And like I don't like cultivating different cultures of viewerships because like Twitch culture is different from YouTube culture. And then if you multi-stream, you only have one chat up. And then obviously if you have one particular chat up over the other, more people will go onto that stream because people will be like, oh, you're gonna be paying attention to that chat. So I'd rather pay attention to one singular chat from one platform and just juggle. I make one my main and the other different. So like that is why I don't do multi-stream. But I know that others do multi-stream because it's really good for growth on both platforms. If you don't know which platform is your main platform and you want to grow as a creator, you do if you're a small streamer, you can do both because it's very good for growth. I don't do both because like I want to focus on nurturing one community and focus on like one community versus like trying to split myself too much. Because I do better focusing on one thing rather than like two things. Because I'm stupid as hell. That is why. Obviously, as a newer streamer, multi-streaming is good for you. I would personally say multi-streaming would be a good benefit for you. But like, growth-wise, Twitch is the way to go for growth-wise if you're a smaller streamer. Anyway, also as a Twitch streamer, there is like different cultures. Like I said, there's different like viewer culture and streaming cultures. On YouTube, there's a lot of things you have to do on YouTube, and that was like one of the things that like was the most stressful for me. It was because like adjusting to this, I need a schedule. Before going like more serious in VTubing, I would just stream whenever the fuck I want. I didn't have a schedule. I didn't make thumbnails, and I didn't plan anything. I just streamed. But when you're getting serious on YouTube, YouTube VTuber viewers, they like schedules. They like thumbnails, and they like it when you plan stuff. But also, you have to realize that because you have a schedule, viewers will pick and choose what they want to watch. So, like, you know, sometimes you stream something, you know they know you're gonna stream this, but it's not something they want to watch, so they don't show up. You have more of an inconsistent, like, concurrent viewers. Because like, you know, they don't want to watch it. Well, on Twitch, viewers are like, they don't care. No, they do care. They do care. But like, a lot of times when you're on Twitch, when you're watching, they don't really have, they do play whatever the fuck they just go like, today I want to play this, and then I gotta swap to that, and now I'm gonna do this, and now I'll do that. There's no like actual, like, you don't know what's gonna happen type deal. But you're always there. You're just there. You're there for them type deal. You don't care what they're doing. You just want to be there. Like, so like Twitch viewers, they're more so of like, whoa, what's gonna happen? It's more, we're just here. We're just here. It's very unpredictable. We're just here. But then like YouTube, they're like, they're like, oh, they're gonna play this, and I don't really want to watch that, so I guess I'll just miss it. Like, it's more so like, I'm not really into that game. I'm just gonna watch something else, you know? Like, like it's stuff like that. But Twitch viewer, you're like, I'm just happy to be here. So, oh shit, chat disconnected. Am I still live? My chat disconnected. Oh shit, okay, I'm back on. Was I still live? I don't know. My chat disconnected. Oh, I was. Okay. For some reason, my chat disconnected. So I was like, whoa, am I still alive? Okay. Anyway, that's basically it. So you have to be aware. Like, even so, you're still cultivating a fan base on YouTube. But like, Twitch viewers, like YouTube viewers have an excuse. Twitch viewers don't have an excuse to not watch you. Because they're like, what if I miss an important thing that's gonna happen? Because I wasn't there. I don't know what's happening. So it's like, you don't know. They don't know. They don't know. They have to be there because they're like, what if, oh my god, what if she's just gonna play my favorite game and I'm gonna miss out? Yeah, the fear of missing out. Yeah. What if I miss a game that, oh my gosh, she's gonna play a game that I really like? I don't know that, but what if she does? Like, you don't know. So you're there. You're there no matter what game you're playing. And then the fear of missing out. But YouTube, you're like, she's gonna play that. I fucking hate that game. I'm not gonna show up. I personally like structure more. I don't like randomly picking games and stuff because like I just want to focus on one thing. I just want to focus on one thing and then be good with that. Like I like more of a structure because I'm very indecisive and I rather just know what I'm doing. I'm super indecisive in general. And then there's like memberships and stuff like that. Like in Twitch, the thing is, a lot of Twitch streamers, they have Discord servers, but like Discord servers for like, which is like the substitute of the membership stuff on YouTube. YouTube offers memberships. On Twitch, you don't have to, there's like subs, but you're not required, you're not like incentivized to have like, you know, sub-only streams, stuff like that. And YouTube, you are, because like it is a benefit to be a YouTube member. There's more exclusivity being a member. There's more stuff to it. There's a different culture. On Twitch, subs don't have like exclusivity on it. There's no exclusive stuff other than like Discord servers. I know like a lot of like Twitch VTubers, a lot of Twitch content creators, they have like a Discord server dedicated to be like the memberships stuff on YouTube. So it's more so of like, and then there's the emote stuff. You can use the emotes everywhere and stuff like that. And it's more so of like, obviously when you're a YouTube streamer, cultivate your membership stuff. Make it appealing. Don't just have like nothing really. I do member streams every other week to have something, and I have like membership plans, like exclusive membership stuff, like exclusive gaming sessions, an exclusive like Minecraft member server, like stuff like that. There's like exclusive wallpapers that are being made, so that people want to keep being a member. So don't just like, make sure to have something there to make it worth being a member. As a Twitch sub, you don't really have like Twitch. You don't really have like other than emotes. There's no like the Twitch stuff. The appeal is the emotes. It's not like the because you know, YouTube emotes, you can't use it. You can only use it in one channel. But Twitch emotes, you can use it in every channel. You can use it everywhere. That's the appeal. If you're on a highly recommend, if you're gonna be a Twitch streamer, to have good emotes, because sometimes people subscribe to you for the emotes. I've had that happen before. There's been multiple cases of people just subscribing on Twitch because they just want to use cool emotes. If you want to appeal to have good subs, to have like more subs on Twitch, have nice quality emotes and make sure they're like memorable or stuff like that. Like make sure like people would want to have it. Like they don't care about your content, they just want to have good emotes. Some people actually do it. It was a huge thing a couple of years ago. There'd be streamers that were known as like, oh my god, they're like the bear emotes. I only want them for the bear emotes. Like that's it. They were known for like their emotes. That was it. And like people actually did that. People actually just subscribed to have good emotes. And like if you really want to like appeal to like more people, then do that. It's fine. It's just another way to like have a more stable, like I guess like stable income. All right, anyway, I think is that everything I have. Everything I have for YouTube. I think that's everything I have for YouTube versus Twitch. All right, the algorithm. Woo! I love the algorithm. Yay! All right, algorithm. So, shorts. If you're on YouTube, milk the shit out of shorts. Shorts are being heavily pushed by YouTube for a while now. I thought they would stop, but they're still doing it because they want to take over TikTok. The reason why is that, you know, we might not even have TikTok anymore. So YouTube is like, we're gonna be the next TikTok. So they're heavily pushing shorts at the moment. Because of that. Even streams, by the way. You might be seeing a lot of people streaming shorts, like live streams in the shorts category, because like when you're browsing through like YouTube shorts, you can get like live streams now too from like random people. So like, yeah, a lot of vertical streams, because like it just shows up on your fucking algorithm. It just shows up. You just scroll through and then some streams show up too. And it's really good for building the audience, because that's what the algorithm pushing right now. The meta is shorts. Everybody just wants to watch on their phone. Everyone just wants to watch on their phone now, because I don't know, dude. We just have very short attention spans these days. We're not really helping ourselves. Hey, but don't put all your eggs in that basket, because you can upload your shorts to TikTok and Instagram. Apparently, Instagram Reels are also blowing up now too. But like, that's if you want to cater to the normies more. Like, I would say, you can work on like Instagram Reels if you really want to like cater more to like the normies, because like all the normies are in Instagram right now. So I mean, I think they're still using Instagram. I don't know, I haven't used Instagram in so fucking long. But like it's Instagram Reels, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts. There's a lot of channels right now that are at like 1 million to 2 million, like 1 million plus subscribers, and all they do is just shorts. They don't upload any videos or like do any live streams. It's literally just shorts, because that's what YouTube is pushing right now. There's like, I was like looking at some of the channels that are like they will upload videos, but the videos would have like 20k views or something, but then the shorts would be like 30 million and 40 million, and they'll have like 1 million plus subscribers. It's because they only push shorts. I would highly suggest and highly recommend that you do short. You don't put everything on shorts. You still stream. Just remember the stream, because you need to keep your audience. You stream and shorts. You stream, upload short. What I used to do is that I would upload a short every time I'm not streaming, because like the YouTube algorithm is so fucked up that if you don't upload a thing for a day, they would be like, whoa, that's a bad mark on your algorithm. I'd be like, they'll be like, you're not uploading now? So back then, I would upload a short whenever I'm not streaming, because I would be like, oh no, I can't keep up the algorithm. Now I upload a short even if I'm streaming, because I want to keep a consistency, because I'm just starting out, and right now I have like a huge boost in my algorithm, so I have to keep going. And because of that, I'm keep going until like the algorithm boost has stagnated. So that is why I personally am uploading shorts even when I'm streaming. I have 3 editors. Each editor edits at least 2 shorts per week, so I can keep this consistent schedule. But that is because I am willing to, I have the money to invest in it. Obviously, not everybody has the money. They have to like edit it themselves and stuff like that. I have 3 editors so they can, I don't want to overwork one editor. So I have 3 editors, and I give them a chance to edit 2 shorts per week. If they don't want to do it, that is up to them. If they want to edit more, that is up to them. But I let them, because I don't want to overwork one editor, so I separate it into 3, and I have a whole server set up for them so that they won't like they won't like overlap each other. And that is why I can able to keep the consistency of like having a short almost every day to keep this algorithm boost, because I have a fucking insane algorithm boost right now. Like, I'm fucking everywhere apparently. And that's what I mean when I said it's all about luck. You can't just coast. You have to know when you have the boost. When you have the algorithm boost, you have to be consistent regarding keeping this algorithm. And that is why I've been trying to keep this algorithm up. And that is why I have 3 editors to keep this up. But like I said, might see a lot of people streaming short section, because yeah, like I said, the stream will be fed into the short scrollers, and that's why everybody's streaming in a vertical format. Now. Also, if we're doing shorts, I remember I saw on Twitter, how do I pick the moments? I let my editors pick the clips, because if they see a good, how did I find my editors? I hire clippers. That is why clipping is so good. If you want to get noticed as an editor, or like if you want to get jobs as an editor, be a clipper. Clip some of your favorite VTubers. Clip some of your favorite content creators, because they know what's good content. And that is why I hired clippers, because I hired some of these clippers, some of their videos, I researched their videos, and they have like millions, they've got like millions of views on their videos, or like they got like 500k views on the videos that they've clipped themselves. And then I was like, and they would clip me, and I'd be like, you're a good clipper, I'm going to hire you. And that is how I found my clippers, my editors. I basically, if you really want to try and get your name out there, just start clipping your favorite content creators, because that's how they research. I don't normally pick like random editors. I clip somebody that watches me because they know what's a good content that I bring. But if you can't afford to, I highly suggest when you try, we're like, oh, but what if I'm making my own clips? Then look at your chat and see which part has the biggest fan response, like chat response. Because usually, there's like an analytic thing where you can see that. So like when you see an analytic, which one has the most like chat engagement, that's usually where the best content is to clip. Because people would be like, oh, like a lot of chatters started talking so much in that one moment. That must have been a good part. And then you watch it back and like, oh, that is a good part. I'm gonna edit this myself. Obviously, learning to edit is like a skill. I don't know how to edit, and that's why I pay people to do it. I'm more of a producer. I am a producer more so of like being able to do like editing and stuff like that. I'm an idea person. I admit I am an idea person, and I like to produce things. And editing is really hard. I can't really give much advice regarding editing because Andy, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Here's my tuition. Thank you. I can't really do much regarding giving advice on editing, so I really suggest like looking up like tutorials or like asking around. But like anyway, so like that is basically how I go about with clipping, with like editing and stuff. There's another way to do like, there's different types of edits you can do. Right now, since I am an indie, I'm much more free to experiment with my editing. It's more so of like, so you see like back then it was just mostly clips and like animated clips. Now I'm more so experimenting with how my shorts are done. There's more so, there's like story time stuff. Story time is very popular, I would say. For VTubers, if you really want to blow up with shorts, story time is the best way to go. Story time and anything to do with relatability is the way to go. If you have a story, that shit will do so well. It's all about tangents, story time, and relatability between with the clips. And that is like the clips that would blow up the most with grinding shorts. To blow up into like the normie sphere, like it goes beyond just VTubing. So people can be like, she's just like me, for real, for real. If you look at my shorts, my most popular shorts is the one where about the sticker and the waking up stuff. Like I'll be like, oh, I wake up, I eat breakfast, I sleep, and people be like, oh my gosh, she's so relatable, she's depressed. I'm sorry, I saw that. So one of my comment was like, oh my god, she sleeps so much, she's so depressed, it's so relatable. I saw that, I was like, what the fuck? Anyway. That was like one of the comments I saw. But like, as I was saying, there's a lot, it's all about like, or like something that's like so wrong, but like people would want to comment to like bait engagement or something. So like, cause like I'll be like, you know, like one was like, my dream sponsors are Funko Pop, and then I was like, yeah, and then obviously people in the comments would be like, what the fuck, why Funko, why not a Nendoroid, and stuff like that, because like, you know, that gives comments and likes. Also, it's still my dream sponsor because it's so fucking funny, okay? Like, it's like the biggest endorsements you can get in the normie sphere, and you're supposed to break the normie sphere. It's so a great idea. It's a great idea. Just people who don't know what the fuck you are will buy a Funko Pop, because Funko Pop collectors will only don't give a fuck. They'll collect anything. They like just want to collect Funko. They like have such a community. Their community is all about collecting everything. It's like, it's so, I don't know. And that's why I could be like the VTuber in that fucking collection. It's just smart. It's so fucking smart. Like, anyway, because like Nendoroid collectors, they collect parts. If you don't have a good part, they don't care. Because Nendoroid collectors, they're not here. They're here to make new net. They just want the parts and the faces and stuff like that, or like they're fans of the show. Like but like Nendoroid collectors, like the hardcore collectors, they're not collecting the figures. They're collecting the Nendoroid parts, so they can mix and match. But Funko Pop collectors, they collect everything. They might be like, I don't know what that character is, but I want it. But I will also love an Nendoroid too, because that's also a dream, because they look amazing. I used to be a Nendoroid collector, not a Nendoroid parts collector, but like a Nendoroid collector. like the not hardcore collector of Nendoroids. I would buy Nendoroids because I'd be like, oh, I'd buy Nendoroids because I'd be like, oh, I like this character. I don't know what character this. I was like a Funko Pop version of a Nendoroid collector, because I bought like that. I bought a Nendoroid where like the character was riding on a bird thing. I don't know what the fuck, who the fuck this character is. I was like, look at that beautiful bird mount. I want it. I still don't know what character it is. I still don't know. I just thought it was so cool because I was like, I've never seen it before on a Nendoroid. It was back then when like Nendoroids didn't have like those like second mount character things, and I was like, that's so cool. No, it wasn't Final Fantasy. I have no idea. Anyway, fuck you, we're off topic. We're off topic right now. Okay, anyway, FOMO games, the fear of missing out. Streamer games. I already explained about that already. I already explained about like FOMO games, but it's, you know, like I said, there's like, you don't want to miss out. Lots of viewers don't want to miss out, so you have to play them. Great examples: Chilla Arts games. So many VTubers play Chilla Arts games because Chilla Arts is like the epiphany of FOMO. They don't want to miss out. Rage gaming too. Don't want to miss out because it's all reaction baiting. It's there to bait reactions. And they love seeing the reactions of like the VTuber streaming this particular section, or this VTuber. That's why horror games is so popular. But you can't always do horror games, because if you're always streaming horror games, then like people get tired. Unless that's your niche. But even if that is your niche, you still have to be able to balance it out. Because people will just get like too much horror, you know? It's just like, oh, she's just gonna scream at that part, and then you're like, it's the same thing. Like, oh, she's just gonna get jump scare. It's just, you're just gonna get desensitized. It's why horror streamers were a niche. It was meta because people loved watching streamers scream. But then the meta died. It's all about the stream meta. You say PewDiePie and Markiplier and Jacksepticeye. They all used to stream horror stuff. But now they don't. They don't stream that much. Like, if you watch their streams, they like don't stream horror that much anymore. Because the meta died out. They don't... It's not the meta anymore. PewDiePie is a great example of a content creator that knew when to swap metas. Like, he swapped so many times with metas because he knew what was gonna be the next meta. He was like a reaction. He fucking swapped to reaction content because he knew that's what people wanted to watch. And he was like, I would say like PewDiePie was one of the first like starters of like reaction content. Like one of the biggest people that like knew what like pioneered reaction content, because he knew that's what people wanted. People like reaction content. That's what fucking rides the algorithm. And then it turned into something, I don't know. And then he does like vlogging now because he's a dad now. He's super chill. He doesn't need to do anything. He's super fucking chill. Like, he's a dad now. He has so much money that he doesn't have to. He just does it for fun. He just does stuff for fun. He doesn't have to care about the meta anymore. Like, he has the money to not care. So, like, that's like his plus side. And also comments and likes. Commenting and liking is so beneficial. It actually helps boost the algorithm. So if you like this, that's why people like comment and subscribe or comment and like this video. I don't really say it because, like, I don't know. I don't want... It feels too normy. I know it just feels too normy. But it actually helps a lot. It really does help the engagement. Like, I could end up saying... I'll be like, hey, at the end of the VOD, I could be like, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. But, like, I don't do it because I'm lazy. Okay, to be fair, one of the main reasons why I don't do it is because I'm fucking lazy. But also... it's a little cheesy and it's like super normy, so so that's why I don't really do it. I don't tell people to comment, like, and subscribe. But it helps if you want to help like an indie VTuber or like an indie or like a small streamer. Comment and like and subscribe. Like, comment and like their videos, like all their fucking VODs and everything, because it helps the algorithm a little bit more. Because YouTube fucking likes that shit. I don't know why. Anyway. Also, like I said, follow the trends. You guys know what the newest fucking weird ass trend is? I'm not doing it because it's like it's pretty fucked up. I don't care that much. I would follow like some trends if it seems fun, but if it's like too much, I just think it's just too much. I don't. But like the newest trend right now is the green screen trend. And that is like where, because it like baits engagement. It baits like, whoa, shock factor. So like basically what they do is that there's a green screen and like on their body. And then you have like the gameplay with on their body. So like that's the engagement bait. And yeah, that's like the current trend. It might change later, but that is the current trend. You can say the NPC thing was a trend as well. Did you know 80% of my viewers are not Did you guys actually? I think mine is like 20%. I think 20% or like 10 to 20% of my viewers are not subscribed. So like I think that one was mine. But yeah, anyway, thank you for the super chat. Thank you, Spirit. But the NPC stream is also a trend. It's a trend. So you follow trends. Obviously, it baits engagement and it baits like a shock value or like, oh, that's something new. Oh my god, they're doing something new. Like they're doing something funny, something new. Oh my god, haha, like stuff like that. Just follow trends. And then songs are really, really good. Like if your cover song hits like 1 million views, whoa, good for you. Congratulations. It means you have done really well. It's really good because some people will subscribe to you because they really like your singing. Like they will put it on your playlist. Also Spotify. You can make so much money on Spotify if you just upload your song on Spotify. I would heavily suggest if you have a fan base, if you're starting a fan base as a singer or an utaite or utaite, you start uploading things on Spotify. You can actually make a lot of money from Spotify if you have like enough songs, or like if you have like enough like exposure, because people will put it on repeat, and like songs on Spotify on repeat does make a decent amount of money. And it's only like, I know some people were like, oh, there's like big streamers, but you have to remember a lot of the bigger streamers have other companies taking the cut of those streams, like the big singers, like the what was it, the Billboard singers, you know, like I'm trying to think, like if we talk about Taylor Swift's old management company, Taylor Swift, if you guys don't know why Taylor Swift is re-releasing her album, it is because the reason why Taylor Swift is re-releasing her album is because her old album is owned by her old music label, and her old music label is like basically owns that song. And because of that, she barely earns money from her old music. So like, that's why you see like, oh, but all the big music stars, they don't earn that much. But when you're a smaller music singer, you actually earn a pretty decent amount on Spotify. But you have to remember, it's better if you make original songs versus like cover songs to upload on Spotify, because obviously a lot of artists might not let you upload cover songs on Spotify. Like, you gotta have permission from the artist to be able to upload those songs. So like, it's better to, if you have original songs, you can actually like make back your money type deal on Spotify, because like it actually is very beneficial to you as grow as a singer. So like, if you're a singer, fucking do covers, do as many covers as you can, original songs. If you're a really talented singer, or you just do it, because it's so good for your growth. It is really, it's just a lot of money invested. But if you want to market yourself as a singer, this is the way you have to go. This is the way you have to go. You want to market yourself as that. If singer, then sing. Exactly. So like, a lot of people that subscribe for like singers, they just want to hear the songs too. So you have to be aware though, that a lot of people that subscribe to singers, like singer VTubers, they listen to the songs. They're just here to listen to the song, and they like put it on repeat over and over and over and over again. But then there's a lot of VTubers that got big from singing cover songs, and it's good exposure if you have good cover songs. There's so many like amazing cover song singers that like I love to listen to, that are like big VTubers now, like Amelie. I have so many of her covers on my playlist. Before like she became a VTuber, before I became a VTuber, I would listen to her songs all the time on my playlist, because I loved cover songs in general. I had so many, like, I would primarily just listen to cover singers, because I personally liked cover singers more than the original. And there's like so many of that in my playlist. But yeah, like I said, just make songs. All right, branding. Okay, this is like a really very like simple slide. I feel like this slide in general, there's not really like much to say about it, but like branding wise, like I would say 100%, this is what I believe in. This is 100% what I believe in. If you are an animal VTuber, it is the easiest when it comes to branding. Because like, animal VTubers are like more recognizable than a human. I would say that. Because like, there's like traits in there that are that are there that makes you distinct from like other VTubers. Like, you have like animal characteristics. All the more famous VTubers have like some animal characteristic about them, because you can do many things about it. You can like make them as like, you know, their alternate form is the animal itself, or like you can make like merch wise stuff, merch and everything. It's like so good like regarding that. And there's so many cat girls out there, so like you have to be like, what makes you more distinct from all the other cat girls, you know? You have to have something that makes you more distinct than the other cat girls. You have to have like a design trait, a unique silhouette. But you can't have too unique of a silhouette, because people don't like it when it's too fucking complicated. And then an average viewer needs to be able to pick you out very easily. So branding is so very important. This is why I've been like, I don't know, I don't know what I'm gonna be doing. For my skin suit, I don't know, man. That's how I feel at the moment. But my new skin suit, I don't know. I I just hope like it works. I hope it works. It was so hard figuring out branding. But like it's so important because like merch and stuff too. If you want, okay, long-term branding. I would say long-term branding, because like I know there's a lot of VTubers that like swap models or change their branding and stuff like that. But like if you want to be more safe, you keep the same brand. I say that as I'm getting a new skin suit, but this brand is like really old, so like I have an excuse to upgrade. I sort of have an excuse to upgrade my branding because like this skin suit is very old. To be fair, my original branding is a tomato, so like it still works. But like anyway, I would, to make it more simple and to make it like more, I guess, like easier for you, if you already have a noticeable brand, I would suggest highly to keep the same brand, because it's such a huge, that's why I'm scared. this is why I'm personally scared with my new skin suit, because when you change brands, you don't know if people are gonna stay, because maybe your old brand was like very recognizable, and people hate change. People really hate change. And it also helps for the normie sphere, like average viewers outside of your community. Average, like from outside of your community, that's like what's worrying, because it's like, oh, when you see them, you're like, who is that? You're like, oh, it's that person, but they used to be this other person. Why do they look different now? Like stuff like that. Marketing wise and like branding wise, keeping the same one. I mean, if you swap outfits, that's fine, but I meant like a full revamp is like, that's why like companies keep the same brand, because consistency always is good. Because if you have you see that thing and you're like, oh, I recognize them, it's this person. So that's why like in companies, people keep the same brand. And I would think like if you want to keep the same brand for your future, you stay the same brand. Like I know like maybe you're like, oh, but I want to be this next, but like if you want to play it very safe, if you want to keep it very safe, and you don't want to take risks, this is like the best way to do it. Like this is the best way. Like if you don't want to take any risks and like you don't know if the viewership will stay the same, like type deal. Okay, management and organization. All right, don't just hire anybody to be a manager. It's so fucking stressful if you have the bad manager, if you have like not a great manager. If you want to hire somebody, do not hire close friends. Never mix business and relationships together. It's never good. I would highly suggest you do not hire close friends or any friend. Like, oh my god, do not hire close friends. Okay, guys? Don't mix. It's always a rule to never mix business with relations. It's not great. If you have the opportunity to hire a manager, just don't do that. Hire somebody. Look into someone with actual business experience. This is when you're getting bigger as an indie. Obviously, when you start out, you don't have managers. You do this all yourself. And so you have to, if you're starting out, be sure to know how to read contracts. Don't let people walk over you when you're negotiating. And don't let people like say like if don't get like scammed into like signing a very predatory contract when it comes to like sponsors and deals, because there's a lot of them out there. So like, you know, if you want to do like a brand deal or a sponsor, you have to be sure you sign something that you really want to do, and you don't get like sucked into a contract that will fuck you over in terms of like like sponsors or merch and stuff like that. And that's like, as an indie, there's like a lot of those as an indie. So like you have to be able to read these types of contracts if you don't have a manager. But that is why you also get a manager, to avoid these things. A lot of emails that come to me regarding like opportunities and stuff, my management reads those emails for me to make sure that like before the emails get to me, it gets like pre-read by my management team. So like I don't have to deal with the bad ones. So I can just say yes or no on the good ones already that I get. But yes, get a business lawyer. If you want to be more serious, get a business lawyer. Yeah, they get screened. The emails get screened, so I'm sure that like I will not be getting the ones that are like predatory. But yeah, anyway. But yes, get a business lawyer to look through the contract to make sure everything is okay. Have a business email and put it on your Twitter bio and streamer platform. Don't think it's just gonna walk to you. Have a business email out there, very direct. It's there, so you can get the emails instantly. So like, and also, make sure the business email is like a little bit professional. Yeah, just a little bit professional. I mean, mine's Doki can read, but yes, also yeah, that stuff. But also like have a pitch deck made. I think it's a very good investment if you want to chase sponsors. If you want to like have sponsors, like if you want to like approach sponsors and brand deals, have your own like portfolio and pitch deck made. So like when you send it to them, like they can just see your analytics and everything. So like just make sure you have those together. Also, I saw like some people asking me like, oh, what about like projects when you're organizing your project and stuff like that. Like I talked about this earlier, but like there's not really a whole way I really do it that's like special. At best, I have a lot of multiple projects going on and stuff. So because I have the opportunity to host and produce a lot of projects, I am able to delegate a project leader that runs the project. Mostly like the project leader will talk to me about what's going on. And then I also look into the server to see like what's going on as well. I look into the server and be like, okay, seems like everything is going well. But then the project leader will be responsible with making sure everything goes on track. Everything is on track and everything is like going well. They obviously get paid more because they're the project leader. Also like the way is that I give updates. I give server updates and be like, oh, here's the news, what's gonna happen, and like here are the new requirements, here's what I need. Like I would give updates, but the project leader makes sure everything goes well and keeps on track. Also, please don't rely on Twitter DMs or Discord DMs. Make a Discord server if you're doing a project. You have to make sure everything, because like, oh my god, it's so confusing when you have so many DMs everywhere. Have a Discord server so you can keep track of everything. I will show you an example of my Discord servers. Bam! Here you go. This is how my Discord server goes. On the left is me and my management team. On the right is my editing team and animators. I also have animators too. So this is how I organize my Discord server. This is how the Discord server is done. So you see like here are all the important things that I have, and then on the right you can see like, oh hey, for editing, here are the rules. Here's my editing rules, what I want the clips to have, the general stuff where people want to talk in general, assets that I give them regarding like PNGs, stuff like that, timestamp claims so the editors won't fucking like overlap each other with timestamps like if they're clipping something, for clip download, so like when they're finished with a clip, they just plop the links there. They just plop the links there for me to download. And then if they have any editing thing they need to ask, they just put it there. And then I have private channels with each individual editor. So if they want to ask me anything, private privately. That's not within like if other people, they don't want other people to see, they talk to me in the private chat. Everything is in like is organized in a way so that like in the like it's just automated type deal. It's just very organized and like I know where things are. and that's how I organize my stuff, because I just need to be sure that everything is in a way that I can easily like look at it. So like especially like payment, I tell them to tell me about payment in our private channels instead of their Discord messages, like instead of Discord DMs, because there's so many people I'm managing or like working with that like I would get so many DMs, like Discord DMs, and I have to talk like socialize with other people as well in Discord DMs. So because of that, I do everything on servers. If it's a project or if it's like if it's something's going on, I do everything in the server. So I don't have to like Discord search bar is so fucking hard. It's just better this way. Shout out to like my management team to helping with the organization of the server itself, because like it was not this neat before. I gave like a general template on how I want the server to be like, and then they made it more organized. So this is the left side is where me and my management team live. The right side is the editing team. Editing and animators. I combined the Doki Bytes animators into the same Discord server. So like I don't have to like worry about like more than one. So like also the editors and the animators don't overlap each other in terms of clip moments, because I have a rule, and I said that I told them for the animators and editing team, I do not want repeats. I don't want repeats. So like the animator and the editor teams have to be sure they don't animate or clip the same thing, and that's why I combined them together. So yeah, so that is how like everything is done. The reason we're not using Slack is because we can't be bothered. That is why me and my management team are not using Slack. We can't be bothered, so we're using Discord. Alright. General tips I've tried to follow. These are my own way of streaming. This is how I go about in terms of my own way of streaming. First off, I saw like people were saying like, oh, how do you like deal with losing topics and stuff, like topics and stuff, like dead air. I actually keep a list of topics I want to talk about on stream. Every time I think of something I want to talk about, like if I have dead air, if I think I'm going to have dead air, I have a channel where I type random topics throughout the day, and then I would just pull that up if I have to. I don't use it all the time. It's if I think I have dead air, if I don't know what I'm going to talk about, I would just pull it up and be like, oh yeah, I'd be like, oh my god, guys, I just remembered, did you guys know, blah 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 blah. Like, that's really it. But I don't do that all the time. I do it like maybe like once every 2 to 3 weeks, because I'm so used to streaming now. This was like back then when I was first starting out. And I was not very good at tangents, and like in terms of like I don't know what to talk about, and I would make sure I write stuff down. So I would write bullet points. So I would write bear hibernation, stuff like that, just to make sure I remember. So like I would just write one bullet point, and then I'll be like, I remember exactly the topic. I'll be like, oh yeah, blah, 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 you know, stuff like that. But it's basically for people who are just starting out and like are not very good at talking. And it's because I'm so used to talking now that like I don't really use it anymore. But I still I write it down out of habit. Habit. If you are a variety streamer, this is what I do. This is my own personal opinion. I tend to keep long playthroughs 3 to 4 streams max, because the longer the series, the less viewership it's gonna get. Which is because our attention is really fucked now. This is for if you're a YouTuber. If you're a Twitch streamer, it's different. If you're a Twitch streamer, it's like really different because like, you know, like I said before, like people don't know when you're gonna stream whatever, so they always show up and they'll be like, oh, what are we gonna get today? But if you're a YouTube streamer, I usually keep it 3 to 4 streams, just because like I know by the time it hits the 4th stream, like the viewership will decline even harder. It's just gonna go lower and lower and lower. So like that is why I try to keep it 3 to 4 streams. So it's just to keep the attention span like still like there regarding it. But this is what I do. Like I said, it is all like my personal experience. If you want to work with artists that are not English speaking, get a translator. I've had this experience before. I wanted to work with an artist that didn't speak English, and I wrote in English, but I also wrote my translated, like my translation as well. But then they were like, oh, sorry, we only work with people who speak it native, like fluently, because they didn't want to deal with like issues if you didn't like the art and then like they don't understand what you want changed and stuff, and there's like translation issues and stuff like that. D.A.D is your friend if you want to you actually use a translator, but I would highly suggest talking with a translator, getting an actual translator that's fluent in the language, or use D.A.D, but let the artist know that you're using a translation software, because you don't want to, like, you know, lie and be like, I'm actually fluent, but you're using a translation like tool. But yes, I highly suggest getting a translator to help you. It is much better in the long run, and it's a lot more convenient for you, like, to get what you want. Have a consistent time block. People love consistency. People love being consistent. That is why I have 2 set time blocks: 12:30 p.m. PST and 5 p.m. PST. That is my time block, and that's what people know. People know that you stream around those times. Consistency is key. Always have a dedicated time block for whatever you stream. Don't stream random hours all the time, because your audience will not know what to do. They'll be like, what the fuck? What time do I show up? I don't know. They're always different. Get a consistent time block. Even on Twitch, you still... The thing about Twitch is that even they don't have a set plan, they are consistent with what time they stream at. So like, always be consistent. It's always the key. Have mods. Don't self-moderate. It's not great. And have them be like mostly silent, but like not too silent. Like, it's like if they want to interject, they can. But like, the thing is, we don't want a mod to spam the chat. Just be like, the thing is, my mods, I have 3 mods working in this chat, and like, they all have second accounts. Their mod account is actually their second account. So like, their real accounts is among you. It could be any of you guys. So they don't have to worry. They can like actually talk to you guys. It could be any of you guys. So they have 2 accounts. One for moderating and one to chat. Like, be just like a regular dragoon. I'm the mod, smile. Message received. Have all your mods be silently. And thank you for the super chat. Thank you. But yes, I have them mostly silent because I don't want to cause any issues, and that is why they're mostly silent. Also, please make a business PayPal and set up a business account. Long run, if you want to make this a long-term career, it would be so good for you. Just remember that. Please remember to set everything up as a business, because this is your career now. If this is what you want to do as a career. So yeah, anyway, that's like basically one of my general tips to follow when you want to, if you want to like, you want to see what's going on behind my fucking brain. All right, merch. Very important as an indie. I would say merch. I did not realize how much merch matters until recently. And like for an indie, and it's like a lot of income can come from merch. And basically, if you want to do your own merch, if you want to handle the whole merch yourself and not want to look at distributors, Alibaba is your friend. Alibaba is a great website to look for manufacturers. It is a good manufacturer website. The thing is, when you're looking and when you're researching manufacturers yourself, you have to research the samples, and you have to look at like samples and like what else is there? And fuck, okay, I don't remember. Okay, and you have to like get like samples made and all that stuff too. There's other manufacturer websites to look at. There's a lot of them. And there's like ones in like America and stuff like that. Ones in like Canada, some in Japan and stuff like that. A lot of them are like on websites similar to like different type. There's like lots of websites for this too. And the thing is, it's really hard to find a manufacturer that you want to work with, because you have to look at sample size. You have to look at samples and like make sure you're not getting scammed. Of course, you're not getting scammed, and the quality is what you want. Obviously, the more you pay for a manufacturer, the more expensive things are gonna get to be made, and the more expensive things are gonna get to be sold. But the quality is a lot better. So you have to be able to pick and choose. You have to be able to like make sure that is what you want to work with. Anyway, making your own merch. I was very luckily, I was a artist alley. I did artist alley a lot, and I sold art at conventions. So there's a lot of things you can do to make your own merch. Yay! Like, these are things you can do yourself. You don't have to get a manufacturer. You can just do this yourself as a smaller indie. You can just do this yourself as a smaller indie and still have merch for your fans. Button makers, they are $150 to $300 US, including the materials. So like, it's just a button press. You boom, 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 there, bam. You print out the artwork you want to make into a button, and then you commission an artist to make a button design, and then you print it out. That's it. And then you fucking boom, 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 bam, done. And that's how you make a button. You can sell them for like $2 to $4, depending on how big the button is. And then gradually, you can make the investment back. Printing your own stickers! Sticker paper! That's a thing! Sticker papers are a thing. Or you can fucking... There's like local printing shops that make stickers. That you can just like, you know, order online, or order like from a shop, from your local mom and pop shop. Or like, I don't know, Walmart. I used to cut my own stickers when I first started out in Artist Alley, and I still made money from that. and they're good and they make money. And then printing your own poster cards and prints at a local store. That works. You don't have to worry. It's like that, you can do that as your own merch. Anyway, if you're gonna work with distributors, obviously they're gonna take a cut of your money because you're working with them. They're gonna be like doing the whole thing for you, like the researching manufacturers, you know, researching manufacturers and making sure like the quality and stuff like that. But you gotta research and read the contract very thoroughly. I would highly suggest not going with one that's a startup, because like for distributors and ones that have experience distributing stuff, because like it's out of your hands because you're not, you know, you're not part of the process. And honestly, it's better to work with somebody that has experience distributing stuff, because shipping things is a lot of work. It's like, I've done shipping, I ship stuff myself, and like it's a lot of work, and like it's not that easy. I run my own thing all by myself. It doesn't mean I'm gonna do that forever though. It doesn't mean, and I'm like very open to like, maybe if I find a distributor I can give them a percentage cut. I do it myself because I want to keep majority of the earnings, because I know how to do it and I have experience doing it, and that is why I handle like everything myself regarding merch. And I know other VTubers that do it as well, not just me, because I recently was talking to somebody regarding merch stuff, because we were like exchanging our like manufacturers. We were exchanging like info with each other and stuff regarding like manufacturers and like what's the word? Fuck. Just being like, oh yeah, like you produce that, I produce this, well I want to try producing this later too. So then we were exchanging information with each other so we can build up our knowledge and stuff. So that's a good thing. If you have like friends with somebody that also makes merch, talk to them about it and like exchange information with each other. That's why I don't like gatekeeping information. I like be like, oh yeah, I'm planning on doing this, like, oh, what are you gonna be doing and stuff like that, and then be like, oh yeah, I want to look for a manufacturer that does this as well and stuff like that. So that's what I try to do. I realized I forgot a slide, so let me download this slide. They're all PNGs. So I realized I forgot a slide real quick, because that sort of fits the topic that I want to talk about. Let me add this in. But this one is about networking and collaboration, because like the other stuff will not be as the other stuff wouldn't make sense if I go down there. So let me add that slide real quick. Boop. Add files. Where did I download it? Okay, let's see. I think it's this. Is this collab and networking? I think this is. All right, let me push this slide up higher. Woo! All right, networking and collabs. There we go. All right, networking and collabs. Balance your schedule. I talked about this before, but please do not make it mostly collabs. It should be collab streams. Should not be more than solo streams, because if you span too many collabs per week, especially when you're just starting out, then you're not building a fan base and community that's there for you. You want to have viewers that want to watch you. So you don't want to like just have mostly collabs, because people would be like, oh, I want to watch them interact with this streamer instead of actually like watching for you. So you have to have a healthy balance. I do 1 to 2 collabs per week, because if I have lots of collabs going on, I also try to balance it more with solo streams. Because I know my Dragoons, they also want some personal Dragoon time. They want me to interact with the chat. And that's why, like, you want to have an identity. You don't want to be the collabor. Like, you don't want that to be your identity. You just collab. You don't have solo content. You want to have personal content so people will know your personality. So like I said, don't rely too much on collabs. Like I said, if you're relying too much on collabs, you're basically like giving yourself a crutch, and you have a harder time developing your personality and presence. It also has, if you're on YouTube, it like gives more opportunities for like dead subs and followers and stuff. And you don't want that. You don't want people to just follow you because you collab with this one person. You want them to follow you because they enjoyed that experience and they want to watch more of you. This is why a lot of like collab channels die so fast. There's a, okay, you can look at this example with flesh tubers. A lot of flesh tubers, they like become big because of the group they are with, because they have like a YouTube group. But as soon as that YouTube group falls apart, their channel dies, because the viewers, they only want to watch that stream, that channel, for the group they are in, not because of the people they are. They're like, oh, my friend group experience. No, like that shit sucks. Because they're like, no, I watched you because I wanted to have the friend group experience so I can live vicariously through this friend group. And then now that you don't have that friend group, it's not as fun. I used to watch the creatures. I live vicariously through the creatures. And like, that's the thing. Especially like when they started going their separate ways, they didn't have really an identity beyond that. They didn't have the identity. Like, it was just like, it was literally like the friend group was gone. But you know, there's like so many experiences. You can fucking look at Minecraft and like, what's it, Quebequop or whatever. Like shit like that. Like, you can't be just the friend group. You have to be your own individual. All right, how to be good at collabs. This is my opinion, but there's two roles in a collab. This is how I see it: the support and the leader. So the support is obviously like, you look at it as a comedy duo, but it can be like a group thing too. So you can have the straight man and the leader, or like the dumb one. Or the chaotic one, or the one with the comedy. You need someone to react and the other one to be there, someone to bring the reaction and stuff. And so, or you can be both. One of the strongest skills you can have is to be both of them. And I think I can be both. I can be a reactor. If I'm in a group that's way too chaotic, I can be the straight man if I need it to be. I can be the reactor, like the one that tries to be like the sane one in the group. Like, it is possible. If you can have the skill set to be both, you can be a really good content creator, because you're not locked into a group in a way. You're not locked into certain people you can collab with. And that is what makes a very strong collab. So you don't want a whole group filled with supporters. Like, you know, all the people who can only do support. You don't want a full group of chaotic people, because it will be way too much. You need to be able to have a healthy balance. This is what I look into when collabs. I try to find a healthy balance of people that would be good foils to each other. Sometimes I try to min-max collab groups in the past. I have done that. Sometimes they're random. It depends on what kind of collab I'm planning. I have min-max collabs before in the past, and I have like done random people. It really depends on like how you want this collaboration to be like, because the thing is, I have the I guess like the opportunity to be able to do random, because I can do both roles. I can be a support and a leader. I can be like I can do both like the I can do both like, oh, the chaotic role, the say random shit role, or I can be there to react and stuff, and to be able to like you know, make it so like, you know, I'm enabling whoever's the leader. I'm making sure I'm enabling the leader, and I'm enabling their content to be bigger than what it was. Like, they would say something and I will make it like more funny, and I'll make it more like, oh, chaotic or something, like stuff like that. And that is like what makes a good collab, and that's how you organize. When I meant min-maxing, I make sure I choose, like, there's some collabs I would purposely pick regarding like collab partners, because I know the collab group that comes out of it will be really good content, because I know the people in that group like will like foil each other really well. Like they'll like complement each other really well, and I've done that before. I've also done random people, like being who's free. Like, I've done both. It really depends on like it really depends on like how you want to see the collab. Anyway, so that is like my like ideology when it comes to setting up these collabs. Socialize. I hate it, but always remember the people who were there for you. So return favors and offer opportunities back to other people who were there for you, or who have done the same to you. If you like, I've done this before. If I have an extra invite to something, I would give this invite to somebody that I knew was there for me, or like that I knew would benefit from. Like, I would be like, oh, hey, you were there for me, I have an invite to this thing, do you want to do it? Because I know they're there for me. I know that if something happens, if something comes up, they'll have something to return back. They'll be like, oh, hey, like, this person was there for me, so I'll be there for you. Like, just make sure you always remember the people who like returned favors or did you a favor. You always remember that. And it's like paying it forward, so it's always good for you long run, to be able to like remember these things. And the worst people can say is no. Like I said, always shoot your shot. The worst is they ghost you or they say no. You have to get used to rejection. It's happened a lot. I've ghosted people a lot because I get overwhelmed. Sometimes people ghost you not because they didn't want to work with you. It's because they're so fucking busy. And that has happened to me. I've ghosted people because I was so fucking busy and I was so very overwhelmed. I've been overwhelmed a lot. And so like, it's very common for me to be super overwhelmed and not like reply back instantly. I've had moments where I'd be like, I'm so sorry for taking a month to reply. Everything was so overwhelming. I'm sorry. And then it's understandable. So like, just be aware that these things happen, and a lot of content creators like have their own lives, and like maybe they don't want to collab, and then they just don't want to say no. Gotta live with it. If you're in content creation, you gotta live with these things. you gotta like, you just gotta deal with it. If you want this to be your job, this is really it. Okay, what else? Oh yeah, websites and resources. All right, so here's some really good websites and resources for you to use for streaming. There's Booth, there's Nizima. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. I'm so sorry. I don't even think I should pronounce it because I know I'm gonna butcher it. So the four things I listed, they're really good resource websites. Booth, the first two, they're really good for assets and backgrounds and like VTuber models or skin suits, all of that. The last two are really good for like also for assets and backgrounds and like copyright free shit. Like those are really good. Like, I would highly suggest looking at these websites for like just information you need, like graphics and stuff like that, or like assets you don't want to pay. A lot of the things on there are free. That's the best part. A lot of there is for free. Carafun is really good for karaoke's or singing. Like, you're worried about like copyright claims and stuff like that. I highly suggest using Carafun because like they have like, usually if you use Carafun stuff, you don't have to worry about copyright things. because like they're all like there's a subscription fee. It's a subscription fee though. It's like $50 I think a month. But if you're like a regular singer or like you like to do karaoke's, this is a good investment for the future. And then shoots, I don't know. They're like really good. Like you have to Patreon pledge stuff, but they're really good for like you know, like those like really pretty immersive like settings and stuff where like the light at the background actually looks like it connects with the VTuber. That's it. That's the thing. It's just really good atmospheric stuff to use when you're streaming. So that's what they use. So these are really all really good websites and resources. If you really want to look for free things, you don't want to spend money, I highly... This glasses free. I literally look for VTuber glasses asset free. Bam. If you really want to find free stuff, these are really good places to like look at if you want free things. Okay, mental health care. I will admit I am not the person to go to advice for this because I still battle with it frequently. If you want to be a content creator or a VTuber, you have to know you're so fucked when it comes to mental. There's no one that's okay. You have to be aware that you're gonna go through some mental health shit. It could be like a little bit. It doesn't have to be like it doesn't have to be like really bad, but you will feel it. If you want to be a content creator or like anything to do with making content on the internet, you will not have like the most positive mental health experience. It's all about mitigating it. Like just make sure you have a support system that is outside of content creation. Because if you have like a support system that's within content creation, you're just in a fucking echo chamber of like some things. So you'll need like an outside perspective. You really need very thick skin to be able to like do this as a career. Like especially like you're gonna deal with so many things. Like you're gonna deal with a lot of stuff. So you really need thick skin. And even if you have thick skin, you're still gonna go through some mental health shit on the internet because numbers will affect you. You can say numbers will affect you because you don't want to fucking fail. Like, you know, of course you'll be like, I'm trying to have better numbers because I want to have a successful career. Like you still have to pay attention to it, so it's still gonna affect you. So you just have to be able to have a good support system outside of just content creation and do stuff outside every once in a while. Like so just be able to like handle that. Like you have the risk for being a fucking content creator is that it's not a very mentally healthy thing. Being an entertainer is not just like on the internet. You can look at like Hollywood actors. Those people are not okay. Hollywood actors, TV actors, celebrities outside of fucking the internet, they are not okay as well. If you're in the entertainment business, like you're gonna have to go through some shit. So you have to be aware, and that is like the biggest risk you have to take. Just have to remember that. All right, anyway, I'm gonna look at questions on Twitter now to see if there's anything that I can I'm gonna look at any of the questions I have on Twitter. If there's anything I want to answer, but that is basically like all I have written down for myself to talk to you guys about. So I hope like all the stuff I have all the stuff I have. Also, I'll put like questions from chat as well. All the stuff I have written out. I hope the slides itself has been very informative, chat. I hope they have been very informative and that it has like helped you guys figure out, like, give you advice and tips on how to go through like content creation and VTubing in general. I will be taking questions now. I'll be looking at the Twitter thread that I made regarding if anybody had questions before I made this stream, as well as taking questions from chat. I hope it assists you regarding if you want a VTuber career in content creation and how to game the algorithm. Okay, so I have this one question that I saw, and one of them was like, how do you manage your energy levels and social battery when it comes to networking, creating video content, streaming with your VTuber skin suit, and responding to a bunch of brand deals or collabs? How do you keep the momentum going during all that work? Well, all my energy is mostly on streaming. That's why when I say off stream, I'm like really different. It's because I normally put all my energy within streaming, and like and then I go to power save mode the moment after. Streaming is also like sort of an escape for me. It's not very healthy, but like for me, I like to stream because it is like, I very much enjoy streaming, and it is like my way of escaping work because my work is off stream. It is my work is off stream at the moment, so that is why I love streaming. This is how I keep my energy. All my energy is streaming, and I do power save after streaming. I have a management team that helps me with brand deals. At best, like, I would look through the details of stuff that got screened and filter out, and then when it comes to networking, I take that really slow at the moment. Networking is the thing I'm like really slow on, because right now I am focused on stabilizing myself. I am trying to make sure I'm more stabilized in my career, because like I said, like my career just started out of a sudden as an indie, and I'm still at the point where I'm still trying to stabilize. There's a lot of groundwork that we have to make, and we're still making that groundwork, and there's a lot of things I haven't announced yet. There's so many things I haven't announced yet regarding like you know, future sponsors, future brand deals. There's so many things I haven't yet been able to announce because we're still like stabilizing, we're still establishing things, but we're slowly getting there. So that is really how my life is at right now. Okay. Neil, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Do you have a workout routine, or do you sustain through pure mental fortitude and caffeine? That's the thing. Right now, I haven't really had a really decent workout routine at the moment, because I'm not stabilized at the moment. Before, in the past, I have a treadmill in my room, but because like you have to take some cuts in terms of like your routine, and that is sadly one of the things I had to take a cut on. I don't normally drink caffeine, but I have drank caffeine at least like once or twice a week. I have drank some caffeine once or twice a week, and because I really need it. Like there's been a lot of stuff that I have to do, and sometimes I get really tired after a while, and unfortunately that is like one of the things I have to do. I have to take caffeine now because it's been like a lot of work to stay up. I only drink caffeine off stream. I don't do it on stream. I know a lot of people think I'm like super energetic, or like I take something when I'm streaming. I do not drink any type of caffeine. I drink water. I just drink water when I'm streaming. Off stream, I actually drink like tea, like green tea or coffee, just to be like just to like survive. If I have a stream at like really late, I would drink coffee. I would drink coffee if I have a stream really fucking late, because like, you know, I'm fucking exhausted if it's like 3 in the morning. So of course I'm gonna drink coffee to just survive. Man, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. What should I do if my favorite VTuber suddenly laughs a lot out of nowhere? Is that the sign? No comment. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Malcolm, how do you find games? What games are popular? Are there any tools do you use for this? Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Okay. Very easy. You go on Steam. You go to recently released or upcoming games. Recently released on Steam. You look at the reviews. If a new game gets like more than 700 plus reviews, this is how I found Pineapple on Pizza, by the way. I was like the first one to stream Pineapple on Pizza, because I literally looked at the reviews and I was like, this game came out yesterday. Like, I'll be like, this game came out yesterday. It has 1,000 reviews. What the fuck? And then I streamed it. And that's how I found out. I was one of the first one to stream it. I saw like there were 1,000 reviews with a game that just came out yesterday. And then I just streamed it because I was like, clearly this is gonna be a meta game. Clearly this game is gonna be popular. And it was like basically like you just like look at Steam reviews. If it's like, if there's, like I said, if a game on Steam recently released has more than like 500 plus reviews, then most likely it is going to be like a meta game. It's going to be a meta stream. You can also look at upcoming releases and just judge by the upcoming releases. Another way is to, I said this before, but you look at Twitch and see what's the most, like you go at Twitch and see like what's popular. You go to browse and then categories, and then bam, you can see like, if you see a stream of a game that's like, oh, I've never seen this before. I've never seen this game before. What the fuck? And then you click on it and you're like, oh, that's a new stream meta. The Twitch front page is basically a story of like what's meta. You can also follow some big content creators. Like, these content creators, they always follow meta, which is like Moist Critical. Let's see, Moist Critical follows Twitch meta. Not Twitch meta, follows streamer meta very well. He follows streamer meta in terms of games really well. And I would like sometimes like, I think I saw Supermarket Simulator. No, not from him. I saw it somewhere else. I don't remember who I saw that was streaming Supermarket Simulator. And I knew that like I knew like someone was streaming it, and I knew that was gonna be, that's the stream meta. And that's why I put it on my schedule, because I saw somebody stream it and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna stream it. Because I was like, wait, this is the next stream game. And that's why I streamed it. I think it was Sure4. I think so. Whenever Sure4 gets addicted to a new game, I knew it's a good game. Ludwig is also a good stream meta follower. Ludwig follows meta really well. Let's see. What else? So thank you for the super chat. Thank you. You mentioned making merch is very important for income. For how much does it cost usually commission art for merchandise? Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. That really depends on what kind of merch you want to make. Obviously I gave some cheap options. I would think like acrylic stands, pins, stickers, prints. They are like the most convenient ones and the easiest to make, because you can't fuck it up. You can't fuck up stickers, you can't fuck up acrylic stands, you can't fuck up like prints and stuff like that. Those are like the easiest to make, and like you don't have to worry about grabbing samples and stuff like that. The more complicated the merch, the more... Oh, and keychains, yes. and keychains. The more complicated the merch, the harder it is to grab like merch that's not fucked up, you know? Like, you know, if a manufacturer sent you merch, it's like you might get more like duds than you do like actual like good quality that you can send out to people. Even enamel pins, enamel pins, oh my god, you have to find a really good manufacturer for pins, like enamel pins, because like you can fuck that up so easily. I've had one time where I got a manufacturer that like sent me like the quality control for that is so hard to manage, because they would send me like I never worked with that one again, but they sent me like 1,000 pins or something, and like I think like 200 of them were like duds. Like there was like markings on it that I had to clean myself, and like but even then I couldn't get like the scratch marks and stuff out of it. There's like, and I had to like sell it as a bargain price and stuff, because it's like, it's so hard. That's why it's like enamel pins are like some of the riskiest for quality control. Anything beyond like keychains, stickers, pin like buttons, like the buttons and acrylic stands are really hard to get quality control right. So you guys gotta be like really careful for stuff like that. And regarding art, like I said, it depends on who you want to commission. Depends on, each artist has his own rates, so I can't give you an estimate. There's some artists that charges a lot, there's some artists that don't. It really depends on the estimate. Some artists will charge a commercial price, some won't. You just have to, it's basically who you want to commission. Maddie, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. What's the best way to announce a big project event so that it can receive the most engagement? On stream, live. That's really the best way. If you're a streamer, on stream, live. Announce it. You don't say anything about what the thing is. You say special announcement, special event, and then you reveal it on stream, and you reveal the participants on stream. You don't reveal it on Twitter or like social media first. You reveal it on stream because people want to know who's participating. So you announce it on stream one by one, because it builds up like anticipation and stuff. Yeah, and you're like, oh, who's gonna be next? Whoa. So you announce things live, not via social media, unless it's like a tournament invite, then like you can't really announce that live. Yeah, it's like you see like everybody always does this. Oh, I'm doing this thing. Wait until the very end. You wait like, oh, if you want to hear what the announcement is, you wait until the very end, because you make all the viewers wait until the very end. They come to watch you do a regular stream. If it's a regular stream with announce tacked on the end, it makes the viewers stay until the very end because they want to know what the announcement is. So that's what people usually do. That's the meta. That what brings in all the engagements for your stream. Let's see. Let me see what to do here. Okay. Drake, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. So how do you go about learning a language? Becoming semi-fluent requires years, doesn't it? You would know since you want to learn languages. Get a tutor, get a teacher. Because the best way to learn a language is being able to speak that language with somebody else. And the easiest way to do that is having a tutor, having a teacher or a friend to help you with your studies. Because if you just read and write, you're not learning as fast as like speaking the language with somebody. So you have to always be able to communicate. You have to be able to communicate with somebody to be able to build up your language learning. And like speaking the language helps you learn so much. Like you just have to get a tutor. You can grab like so many resources, like, you know, I have like lots of books and everything, and like just study the book. But if you don't speak that language regularly, then it won't help you. Duolingo is not a good enough way to learn language. Duolingo is like substitute. You can use it as an extra learning, but it's not the main thing you use for learning. You have to have other ways to learn. You can't just rely on Duolingo. Yeah, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Siggy, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Hearing everything you have to say made me realize that I'm better off pursuing content creation as a hobby rather than a job. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. The thing is, a lot of content creators start off as a hobby because it's not stable. It's not a stable job, and it's all about luck. But it's all about trying to maximize your luck as well. I would say, oh yeah, someone says watch streams. Yes, if you want to get better, watch streams in that language you're trying to learn. I improved a lot in my Cantonese and my Mandarin because when I lived in Asia, I would only watch the TV was playing, and then I would like watch like shows shows in that language because like, you know, the TV was on, I had nothing to do, and I couldn't play on my PC, so I would just sit there and just watch, and I got better in my listening skills. I got better in my listening skills and my speaking skills. So I highly recommend watching streams in that language, and you're gonna slowly pick up the language as well. If you're learning already, it helps improve your learning. It helps improve it a lot. But yes, like I said, content creation, a lot of people start out as a hobby. If it's best if you start out with having as like an extra income, and not like, you know, go full in, because like, you know, you need a backup plan. You always need to have a backup plan, you know? So like, a lot of people start off content creation as a hobby, and then later on when it gets more successful, you start investing more into it, and then when you make enough money, you can like, you know, fully commit to it, and that's like the safest way. I think if you want to go safe, I would say like always have a backup plan, because you don't quit your day job. Yeah, always like make sure you have something in the backup just in case. Let's see what else. What do I have? Let's see. Volley, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. I made a plushie of my VTuber and my subs want to buy it. $35 plus $122 for international shipping. That is way too much. How big is the plushie? That is way too much for a plushie. It also, where do you live? Without doxing yourself. Without doxing yourself. Like, that is honestly way too much for shipping. It really depends on like how much the how big the plushie is too. Because at that point, that is way too expensive, especially like if it's an NA. A plushie should not be that expensive for shipping. I don't know overseas shipping. I don't know like how bad shipping is in other countries, but like I know for NA that's way too expensive for international. And at that point, it's just so much easier to just find a distributor, because distributors help. If the plushie is like manufactured not by you, if you're not the one that made that plushie, then like at that point getting a distributor helps with that. But I feel like $122 in general is way too much from what I'm seeing in my experience. I know like in different countries it really depends on like how much shipping is in different countries, and that's why some companies have distributors in like cheaper places, like not cheaper place, in that place. Like the distributor would be like, you know, if they want to distribute stuff in America, but the company is in Japan, they will buy a warehouse. They would have a warehouse in America for cheaper shipping, stuff like that, just to help with shipping and stuff. And that's why people find distributors, because to help with shipping. Let's see. I'm trying to see what else to answer. Yana, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Hi, Doki. My question is how to smoothly approach other streamers to make genuine connections. Twitter and their chat. A lot of my friends I've made before I, started being a serious VTuber, like before the friends I made like 2 years, like friends I made before I started being serious VTubing 2 years ago, it was from Twitter and Twitch chat. Like I was a Twitch streamer and I would like hang out. I would raid them, and then a lot of them are artists too. A lot of the friends I've made, because I was an artist VTuber, so I would draw a lot and like, I just like do art streams and everything. So, and because of that, I made friends by raiding other Twitch streamers, and also like talking to them on Twitter and interacting with them. And then they'll like tweet something, like they'll tweet art, I'm like, oh my god, I love your art and stuff like that. And I would like give them like signal boost them if they want, like they have like, they tweet something, I would like boost their tweets and stuff by retweeting it, and like, talk to them on Discord and talk to them on Twitch, and like play games with them off stream. Like it's all about just like being consistent and stuff like that. Obviously I am a lot more busy now. I'm not a lot more busy now, so I don't have that, I don't have time to really like do that anymore. And now I just like, it's a lot harder for me to make more friendships because I have a lot of stuff going on, and I have to make sure I can balance my schedule and stuff like that. But back then I would just, just hang out and talk to them and just raid their streams, and because I wanted to like know them more. Let's see. Big boy, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Hi Doki, quick question. Is it possible for me to start streaming as a hobby despite having... Yes! You can have any time block. I used to be a DGen streamer. I wouldn't start my stream when I was a Twitch streamer. I would stream at 9 p.m. and I had a audience for 9 p.m. streams. Sometimes I stream at 1 a.m. and I had an audience for that time. I was known as the DGen hour streamer. Like if people were up in DGen hours time, or people on the other side of the world wanted a English speaking streamer to watch, I was there for them. But yes, it doesn't matter. Anytime is possible. You don't have to worry. Anytime is you just stream. Don't like just stream. If you have a really bad work hour schedule, just make that your consistent stream hours. There is an audience base somewhere for it. Let's see. So I think of the super chat. Thank you. How do you find collabs as a small streamer? Literally little friends, connection, and networking. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. I would suggest find other people around your viewer level and just interact with them. They want connections too. As an indie, that's the biggest thing. As an indie, we all want to find a group. That's why I'm doing so many collabs, because I'm trying to find a consistent group to hang out with, to like see who I groove with the most. So I'm trying to collab with like a bunch of people from different areas to like meet new people, and like just want to have a consistent group of people to just hit up to do games with. And just reach out. Like the biggest hurdle is just reaching out to people, and I'm pretty sure those people who are around your range, they want more friends too. They want more connections. They want to find new VTubers, new friends. But never forget who was there for you. Never forget. There's a lot of people that I used to know that was like around my view count when I was like a lot smaller. And then they're now really big streamers. You don't know. Never forget what they did for you and what you did for them. So you always just remember that, like just who stuck out for you and who like was there. Just remember that, and just reach out to people around your similar range, because I'm pretty sure they're also looking for friends. They're also looking for people to play with. That's one of the hardest parts in indie. People just, and why people want to join a community. They want to have, why people want to join a company. They want to have a community that they can just hit up on and bam, easy. They just want a community, like a group of people to just play and stream with. Let's see. Dax, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. How do you come up with good jokes on the spot and chat entertain? So is it wise to separate content like music and game on different channels? Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. How do I come up with good jokes on this spot and chat? That's just a talent. Like, I can't give advice on that because I naturally just had that as a skill for me. So like, I'm sorry. I unfortunately I can't give you advice on how to come up with good jokes on the spot. And like, chat entertain is just for chat entertainment. Don't bash something over and over again. Don't beat up a dead horse. That's really it. Like, chat entertainment, as long as you don't beat a dead horse and like keep bringing up something over and over and over again repetitively, that's like the best advice I can give you. Like, there are moments where like some jokes would come up that I would say that became like memes and like phrases that were like my chat would consistently bring up, but I wouldn't say it that often. I would say it like I would never say it ever again. I say this phrase once and then it's forever. It's like the chat loves it so much they always remember it, but what they don't know was I said it once on one stream, and then but it was my identity. and like the thing is, you have to know when to give the joke back or when to like stop a joke, because you have to make it so that the chat doesn't get tired of it, because you don't overkill it. As long as the chat is entertaining themselves, that's all that matters. And regarding like how do I come up with these jokes on the spot, I think you guys should know, when I first started streaming, I got peer pressured to stream. I didn't stream because I wanted to be a streamer. This is a little lore. I don't know if I told this before. I'm pretty sure I have. Basically, I got discovered in Overwatch. And like, because I was using voice chat to like play Overwatch. And I had a streamer in my game. And then later on, I became friends with some streamers who played Overwatch. Like, they was all high-ranked Overwatch. And then like they told me to start streaming. And so they were like, oh, we think you're very entertaining. You should, because I would say like random shit. Like, like these are like big Overwatch content creators at that time too. And like I would say like something that would be funny, and then like they would be like, wait, you should like stream. You can be you're really entertaining. Like, you're really entertaining off stream and you're entertaining on stream. Because at that time, I had more energy off stream to actually be entertaining. Like just hanging out, you know? Just hanging out. I had like I can entertain people like as just hanging out, not because like, also to be fair, like even then when I hang out with people, I say some fucking shit that would people would be like, what the fuck? So, because of that, like they were like, you should start streaming, and then I did. I started streaming, because of that. And that's why I honestly can't give advice on like how to do jokes and how to be entertaining, because like I said, like the reason why I started streaming was because I literally got peer pressure to by like my friends, because they were like, oh my god, you're pretty entertaining, you should try streaming. And I was like, okay, but I never committed to it. I never like tried. I just did it for fun. Like I never like actually tried and never like kept it consistent. I had like moments where I took like 4+ months break without telling anybody. Because I never, like, I didn't have much. I was barely an affiliate. I was just like fucking around, and I was like, I didn't feel like streaming, so then I'll just be like, all right, I'm not gonna stream. I was just like, all right, I didn't take it seriously because I didn't see it as a career. I didn't see it as and it would happen multiple times. It wasn't like, oh yeah, the first time there was 4 months and I came back. I would be like 4 months and then I stream for like 2 to 3 weeks or something, or like an entire month, and then I disappear for another 6 months. And then I was just like, whatever. So I never took it seriously. I just did it for fun. And that's why I can't give like actual advice on this, because it's like I feel like I'm not like the right person to give advice on how to be entertaining, because for me it was just naturally within me. Yeah, you're lucky I don't do that anymore. This is a job now. We're so lucky that I actually see this as a job now. Yeah, the Bark Knights, the OG Bark Knights, they are the strongest knights out there. There's like, okay, the OG Discord is like still running. Like the OG Discord that I started off with, these people, those fans, they still exist, and they're dragoons now, but they've been like supporting me even through all these hiatuses. Like, it's actually crazy. Oh my god. But it's also like how I forgot to give you guys this, but like how to nurture a community, because what you give to the community is what they give back to you. So like that's why you have to love and care your community, because they do so much to support you. They like my Bark Knights, they've been there for me for all my hiatuses, but like I still try to like let them know I care, like in a way. So like you have to be able to nurture a really loving and loyal community. And first off, you need to name your community. They need a name. They need to unite under a name, and that is what I did. You guys are dragoons. We had Bark Knights before, and stuff like that. And you need to be able to do stuff, give back to your community. You have to be able to give back to your community every so often. When I was a Twitch streamer, I would have like sketch raffles. By the way, which reminds me, I need to fucking do the sketches and stuff from the donations. I'm sorry, I've been so busy, but that's when I was a Twitch streamer, I would have sketch raffles, and then the top 3, and then like I would have like raffles where like I would have like a lottery where like all my subscribers were put in a lottery, and then if you win I would pick like 5 subscribers to win art from me, and then my most gifted subscriber, I would send them a postcard to be like, thank you for supporting me this month, like stuff like that. I had made like little gift bundles and everything, and I didn't even have like a large viewership. I didn't have like a large viewership, but I had like a very dedicated community because I really appreciated them. I really appreciated what they did, and like sort of supporting me for this long. And I would like make like little like gift bundles and stuff for my top supporters, and be like a personal postcard and be like, oh, thank you for all the gifted subs. Guys, at one point I had 500 subs on Twitch, but my average viewership was 30 to 40. like because I was just like I really cared about my community. I really cared about them. Because I really appreciated them, and I tried very hard to show my appreciation. And here, thank you for the 5 gifted ships. Thank you. So like it's all about like being a really good content creator is making sure you give back to your community, and is making sure you show them that you really care and that you care, because you can't be a content creator without your viewers, and you have to show them that you appreciate it. And that's why I try really hard with doing all these projects, doing all these like fun things like events and like fun things with you guys, and like trying to do lots of like interactive stuff with you guys is how I show I care, and how I like and like all the things I because I couldn't be here without you guys, so it has to be known. All right, let's see. What else? What else? Holy shit, I almost that's whoa, I did not realize how long I've been streaming for. Hunter, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Yeah, start small and care about those around you. Glad to hear these tips, Doki. I'm doing fine too, but I cannot draw nor do anything more than playing games and talk with them. What can I do? Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. That's sometimes what they need. The chat just wants your entertainment and your company. You don't have to do more than like what they're happy with. Like by the time you have a bigger viewer base, you can start reinvesting more into your channel. Like when I first started, all I did was just play video games, and then the bigger I got, the more I reinvested. Sometimes, like as you said, you start small, and then the bigger you get, the more money you have earned, reinvest in your channel or save money. Honestly, there's a lot of people who do VTubing different ways. They want to use VTubing to be able to afford a house in the future or like an apartment. I put it in, I reinvest in my content because like I enjoy making content and I enjoy reinvesting and I playing more so of the long game, because I can save for a house, for like an actual place to live later on down the line. For me, this is me. Don't follow this if you don't have a stable enough like career. But for me, content creation for me obviously will never be long term, because content creation never has a long lifespan within the internet unless you're the 0.001%. So for me, I try to take advantage of what I can do as a content creator and what I can invest in as a content creator. This is not financial advice. But I put my money in investing in my channel because I know this is not for too long in terms of like my future, and like I want to be able to experience this moment as much as I can before I, you know, can't do the internet stuff anymore. So obviously I want to be able to reinvest all this to experience all the things I would never be able to experience if it was like 20 or 30 years in the line. I'll never be able to experience this, so I want to reinvest this in my channel to be able to do all these things that I never got to do before. And because like I have a friend that keeps fucking bugging me to fucking buy a house. One of my friends was like, please use that money to buy a house, and I'm like, no. No, I'm gonna pay an animator to make another Doki Bites animation. So that's why I know I should. I know I should buy something instead of renting. Alright. Liam, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Which part of content creation do you struggle with? How do you get past those roadblocks? Interact, socialize with people outside of just streaming. I'm so bad at that. I'm really bad on like Twitter socialization and just socializing with people. I like talking to people. Like, what do you say? I like talking to people like in a call, but I hate talking to people on messaging stuff. I don't know, like I rather like, I think this is why like whenever I get a call with somebody I haven't like messaged in a while, we would talk for hours. We would talk for like 4+ hours. I remember like I haven't talked to this one person in a while, and then like when we got in a call, we would just like play a video game and just talk for like 4+ hours, and then we're like, oh fuck, wait, we both busy tomorrow, we should go to sleep. It would be like 4 or 5 a.m. or something. It'll be like 5 a.m. and we're like, oh shit, oh my god, wait, oh fuck, okay, we should sleep because we both have a busy work day. Like stuff like that. Like I don't like just messaging. I like to be in a call with somebody because that's the majority of how I like to interact with people. I'm just not like a person that like socialize via message, and that's like one of the hardest part because that's how you network. A lot of networking is done via socializing on messages, but I've done more I personally feel like I've made more progress networking just talking to people on like on the call, like music. And Bob, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Please buy a house here. House fun. Thank you. Nexty, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. It would make me very happy to see you're more financially secure long term. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. All right, guys, I'm gonna answer 2 more questions and then I'm gonna call it here, chat. I'm gonna call it here. I'll answer 2 more questions for you guys. You guys have any? Questions I haven't answered before. Let's see. Let me see real quick if there's anything. Also, if you're a content creator, I know like it's a lot of people are like, ew. But like, if you're a content creator, get Twitter blue. You have to. I know it sucks, but like, as a content creator, you have to. It's actually like really good. Because like, first off, editing your post and being able to tweet really long tweets is really good. It's just, it sucks that is like a bot service, but like it's being able to make long tweets and being able to post longer videos as well as editing your tweets is just a really, really helpful thing to have. And I know it sucks, but like it's a good investment in the long run. as a content creator. Grace, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. And this will be my last question that I'll answer. Thank you so much for the stream. It's been incredibly educational. How do you balance doing things out of passion versus because they're what's good for your growth? You have to sacrifice things to grow. Like, you have to be able to sacrifice. Of course, you can still sprinkle. There's 7 days in a week, right? You can do something you're passionate about in like half the week, and it's something, you know, it's what I do. I have a FOMO game like once a week at least, or at most once a week. There is a FOMO game in the schedule, like climbing or something, or like Supermarket Simulator, because that is the game of the week. It's fun, but like, obviously, like, how some of them is like purposely rage games, you know, like the fucking climbing game. It's fun for the viewers. And it's fun to watch the streamers suffer. So it's like, you know, sacrifices have to be made. It's more so of like, you have 7 days of a week. You can obviously balance the stuff you're passionate about versus the stuff that you want to grow with. And you have to be able to sacrifice that to grow in whichever way you want. And that's like the risk you have to take. There's so many risks you have to take in content creation. Streaming is a risk, and you have to be ready to take these risks. But yes, that would be my last question of the day. I hope this stream was informative, and that you were able to learn a little bit, and that other VTubers are able to, you know, figure out what they want to do with what they want to stream and stuff like that. I hope this might be like my only time I actually really talk in depth about all of this. So I hope it was still informative. There's obviously a lot of things I could have said. There's obviously a lot more things I could have give insight on. But I hope that what I gave you guys was enough to help you in some way. And I hope you guys learned a lot about content creation. Another thing I want to say is that you always want to keep eyes on you. The reason why I was able to grow fast and big before, you know, as Doki, was because I did things that I was super passionate about, and I love streaming, and I love being involved in the community, and I love being involved outside of just VTubing. I try to network outside beyond VTubing, and I try to do a lot of things. I want to be involved in as many things as possible, and that is like one of the biggest things with growing, is that you want to be like everywhere type deal. You want to be like everywhere so people will recognize you. And I also organized a lot of events and projects, and that kept the momentum going and stuff. I was willing to reinvest in my channel. If you're willing to reinvest in your channel and know what your strongest suit are, that is the best way to grow, in my opinion. And I knew how the algorithm worked. I knew what would grow a channel, and I knew what would benefit the algorithm. And it's all about, the moment you realize what makes the algorithm works is when you realize how you can get bigger if you hit that boost, the initial boost. That's when you know what can keep you going. But yeah, think long term. It's not about short term. It's all about long term, because like planning some of these things might take a long time, but the long term effects is like so beneficial. Because sometimes my projects take a long time to plan, but I know the moment I would upload it, or the moment I do it, I know people are gonna like it, because I put it's like you know, when AAA companies rush a game for Christmas, and you can tell it's rushed. You can tell it's like super rushed, and like you didn't put their real heart and soul into it, versus a game that took like years to develop, and like they clearly put a lot of investment into it and stuff like that. Like that's like the best comparison I can make regarding this. Like, don't be afraid to invest long term versus short term, because if you believe in something enough, then you know logically that this, when you announce it, or like when you actually put it out, like you know it's gonna work. You know that this is what viewers want. So like, don't be afraid to reinvest for the long term type deal. And that's like really how I felt like helped me a lot to grow the way I did before I came back as an indie. No, being creative. I know where I'm producer. My role is majority as a producer. I have lots of ideas, and I provide like these ideas for people to make it into reality. There are some people who are gifted in actually like creating it themselves. Know where your strong suits are. I know I don't have a lot of skills creating stuff in general, but I know that I have lots of ideas that I know how to make it reality. Know what I want to make in reality, and I can organize stuff really well. I can plan things and organize and bring people together. Obviously, know what your strong suits are. When you're really creative streams, you can make creative streams as a niche. There's a lot of very creative streamers, and there's a lot of there's one Twitter account that I follow. I can't bring up the name on the top of my head right now, but they always like retweet a lot of like very, very creative streamers that make their own like content. They create their own things, like create their own what is it called, create their own like Twitch interactions and like their own way of streaming, their own toggles. Is actually crazy. There's like people I want to hire and try to like work with from those like the people that do all these things, because it's so creative. Like these are like coders, people that can code and stuff to code better interactions. Like they're very creative people, and I would love to work with some of them in the future, because that's why I've been like following them along, because I like it helps me with ideas and like stuff I may potentially do in the future. So yeah, anyway guys, that is all I want to say. As always, everybody, stay hydrated, posture check, get up and move around to get that blood flowing. And if you stay up for me, head to bed, because you deserve it. I'll see you guys next time, everybody. Bye, guys. Bye.